Chapter 452. As a clan of the ancients, the Jiang family naturally had some ancient freaks in hibernation. Although they didn't have as many as the three from the Jun family, one of them was still hibernating in the ancient spiritual land. It's him, Jiang Tianyin with the divine king body, Ji Changkong, the ancient freak from the Ji family, said in surprise. You know him? Ji Qingyi asked. That's right. Although I'm not from the same era as him, I've heard of his name before. He has the divine king body and descended with a divine seal. I didn't expect him to wake up, Ji Changkong said. Oh, only one ancient freak. Ao Guang and the others' expressions changed slightly, but not much. Compared to the Kingslayer team, having one more ancient freak wasn't a big deal. At this moment, another sigh could be heard from the other side of the sky. You could have messed with anyone, but you had to mess with the Jun family. As soon as he finished speaking, 4 figures appeared. They were Wang Chuan, Yu, Yin Qingying, and the 9-headed lion. It's Wang Chuan, the saint of the reincarnation demon sect. Although he was enslaved by the son of God of the Jun family, he's still a terrifying ancient freak. And Yu, although he's a follower of the son of God of the Jun family, it's rumored that he might be a descendant of a monarch clan from another mystic realm. Yin Qingying is also very powerful. She has the god-swallowing demonic technique. Even the Lady Buddha of the Little Western Paradise and the saintess of the sacred sect were devoured by her. The 9-headed lion is also a top, far ancient royal, but he's been loyal to the son of God of the Jun family since then. With the arrival of Jun Xiaoyao and his followers, the crowd was in an uproar again, because these geniuses suddenly realized. Even Jun Xiaoyao's followers had become so powerful. The addition of Wang Chuan, Yu, and the others made many geniuses from the Kingslayer team change their expressions. But that wasn't all. Another group of figures appeared in the sky in the distance. The one leading the group was a gorgeous woman in a silk dress. She wore a cold expression. It was the eldest princess of the Panwu Jin dynasty, Wu Mingwei. People from the Panwu Jin dynasty have also come? Many people were astonished. They didn't expect that the Panwu Jin dynasty, who had conflicts with the Jun family, would help them. Of course, many people also thought that it was probably because of the eldest princess, Wu Mingwei. Otherwise, the Panwu Jin dynasty would never help the Jun family. On the other side, another group of people arrived. The woman in the lead was the Holy Virgin of the Holy Spirit College, Hua Shiqing. Holy Spirit College is here too. This time, all sides were shaken. Another top-level academy arrived. Jun Xiaoyao is the holy son of our Holy Spirit College. We can't turn a blind eye to this, Hua Shiqing said indifferently. The rest, including Su Ziqiang from the Purple Mansion Sacred Ground and other forces affiliated with the Jun family, also arrived. This time, the expressions of many geniuses in the Lord Slayer's team changed completely. They originally thought that it was a group of forces ganging up on the Jun family. But now, it had turned into a group fight. Even Long Outyin's expression changed when he saw so many forces and geniuses arrive. But when he thought of the strength of this side, Long Outyin was still calm. The Jun family is quite impressive. Suddenly, the sky darkened. Countless crows appeared in the sky and turned into a demonic man in a black feather robe. Beside him stood a woman with a perfect face. These two were the ancient freak Wu Shuo from the Demon God Palace and Yin Ruming. That must be the ancient freak from the Demon God Palace, Crow of Calamity Wu Shuo. But judging from his attitude, he should be on the Archean royalty's side. Is Jun Xiaoyao not here yet? Today, I, Wu Shuo, will make him kneel before me and beg for forgiveness, Wu Shuo said with a voice as sharp as a crow's. Jun Xiaowang, Jun Zhanjian, and the others shouted angrily. How dare you? You don't even deserve to clean my young master's shoes. In their hearts, even the ancient freak was not as good as Jun Xiaoyao. It doesn't matter. I'll kill you first, then Jun Xiaoyao, Wu Shuo said with a sinister look. Yin Rumeng, who was standing at the side, felt a little uneasy. Just when the whole atmosphere was filled with a strong smell of gunpowder, a voice rang out. Another figure stepped forward. It was a young man who was tall, handsome, It had the bearing of a dragon and the appearance of a phoenix. His skin was like jade, and there was a divine glow in it. He looked like he was protected by the heavenly Tao, for auspicious spirits surrounded him. A true dragon soared into the sky, a phoenix cried, a Qilin stepped on the sea, and a black tortoise carried a mountain. His entire body was enveloped in light, as if the heavenly emperor had descended. It was Wang Tung, the young master of the Wang family. The young master of the Wang family is here, too. Seems like he's targeting the Jun family as well. Jiang Xingyi saw Wang Tung arrive. Her beautiful eyes were filled with extreme coldness. You had a part in this plan, too, Jiang Xingyi said coldly. Jiang Xingyi, I'll let you know who's better between Jun Xiaoyao and me, Wang Tung said with a faint smile. In his plan, he would kill all the ancient freaks of the Jun family and the sequence of the Jun family. Then he would kill Jun Xiaoyao. I'll break this array. You guys deal with those people, the prince of the underworld said. He was a straightforward person and didn't want to waste time. He immediately attacked the array under the ground again. How dare you? Jun Lingsong and the other echelon cultivators also made their moves. You want to save the last ancient freak of a Jun family? Impossible. Long Outyin, Elwan, Long Bichi, Qilin, Feng Luofei, Huang Tiange, and the others also attacked. Let's go. Jiang Xingyi and the other members of the Jiang family attacked. Jiang Xingyi, you'd better stay out of this. Wang Tung smiled faintly and attacked. That's right. The rest of you, stay out of this. The sacred son of the sacred sect also attacked. On the other side, Wang Chuan, Yu, and the ancient freak of the Jiang family, Jiang Tianyan with the divine imprint king body, also attacked. But they were stopped by Ao Guang, little sorcerer god, heavenly eye saint, and Wu Shuo. The outcome has been decided. You can't change anything, Ao Guang said coldly. Hua Shiqing of the Holy Spirit College, Wu Mingwei of the Panwu Jin dynasty, and Su Ziqiong of the Purple Mansion Sacred Ground also attacked. They were greeted by the prides of the far ancient royal families and Gu Chanzi of the Celestial Cicada clan. A chaotic battle had broken out. The horror of this battle was indescribable. The entire Xintian mountain range rumbled. On one side were forces such as Zulong, Wanhuang Spirit Mountain, Qilin Ancient Cave, Fallen God Palace, Wang Family of the North, the three immortal ancient races, the Sacred Sect, and the Celestial Cicada clan. On the other side were forces such as the Jun family, Jiang family, Holy Spirit College, Panwu Jin dynasty, Beauty Tribe, and the Purple Mansion Sacred Ground. It could be said that a battle of this level was unheard of and unseen. Almost 80% of the forces in the immortal ancient world were involved. Only a few forces such as the demonic celestial sect, Ji family, and Yi family watched from afar. Chapter 453. No one had expected that there would be such a large-scale battle between geniuses in the immortal ancient world. The source of the battle between geniuses was the Archean royalty and other forces that were targeting the Jun family. Kaboom! Lights of all colors were rumbling, and the world was shaking. The waves that erupted from such a chaotic battle were indescribable, as if the world was about to be destroyed. Many geniuses found their own opponents and began to fight. Junling Song, I was just too lazy to use my trump card to fight you before. Now, let's try again. The Qilin Sun stepped forward and pushed out his palm. Along with the purple aura, many Qilin phantoms appeared. As he blasted out, the sky was crushed. A loser is a loser. Today you will die. Junling Song's tone was indifferent. The Archean royalty's actions had crossed the line. In that case, there was nothing more to say. The only thing left was to fight to the death. The rest of the Jun family sequence also clashed with Long Outyin, Feng Tiange, Feng Luofei, and other top geniuses of the Archean royalty. On the other side, Jiang Xingyi raised her hand and activated the power of her innate fetus. It turned into endless runes that spread under her feet. Jiang Xingyi was usually as quiet as a virgin, as otherworldly as a fairy from the Moon Palace. But now, she was attacking in anger. Her hair was fluttering, and she also burst out with a terrifying aura. After comprehending the ancestral stone tablet in the ancestral land of the Beauty Clan and many other opportunities, Jiang Xingyi's cultivation had reached the celestial god realm. She attacked Wang Teng with a palm full of anger. Jiang Xingyi, you may have the innate Taoist embryo, but you're no match for me. Wang Teng smiled and struck out with his hand. Mana surged out. As the young emperor of the Wang family, he was born with great fortune. He had never been defeated since he was born. His father even said that he had the bearing of a great emperor. Therefore, Wang Teng also had an invincible mind. He did not think that he would lose. However, Jiang Xingyi had an innate fetus, after all. It would take a long time to suppress Jiang Xingyi. On the other side, Jiang Luoli and Jiang Chuan went up against the Saint's son, and the three of them started fighting. The ancient freak of the Jiang family, Jiang Tianyin with the divine imprint king body, was stopped by Ao Guang, little sorcerer god, heavenly I holy son, and Wu Shua. Jiang Tianyin, it's impossible for you to help the Jun family, Wu Shua said. His voice was as sharp and hoarse as a crow's. He and Jiang Tianyin were both ancient freaks, so they could completely block it. You all want to die. Jiang Tianyin held a divine seal in his hand. His aura was extremely powerful, as if a divine king had descended to the world. However, although he was an ancient freak in the late-stage heavenly god realm, the four people he was facing were also late-stage heavenly gods. It was indeed a little difficult to fight 1 against 4. However, at this moment, Wang Chuan and Yu stepped forward bravely. Since you dare to provoke my master, you should be prepared to die. Yu's eyes were cold, and his entire body was burning with the grand sun primordial fire. Wang Chuan didn't say anything, but the phantom of a wheel filled with the power of reincarnation appeared behind her. The young ruler of the beauty tribe, Li Qiushui, also stepped forward. It was 4 against 4. Then let's try. Wu Shua attacked first. As he raised his hand, countless pitch-black arrows shot out. They were enough to turn a mountain into a sieve. Jiang Tianyin also attacked. The divine seal in his hand vibrated, and rings of light spread out and collided with the arrows. Yu pulled back the starfall bow of destruction. 9 stars in a row burst out. Wang Chuan also activated the power of the reincarnation sacred body. A reincarnation palm blasted out, as if it wanted to pull people into endless reincarnation. Li Qiushui of the beauty tribe also attacked at the same time. Ao Guang, little sorcerer god, and heavenly I holy son also attacked. A total of 8 terrifying Empyrean god realm geniuses collided. It was like a galaxy had exploded and magic power rippled out in all directions. As for the remaining forces, Wu Mingyue of the Jin dynasty, Hua Shiqing of the Holy Spirit College, and the other geniuses of the ancient royal families were also tangled up in a melee. As Xiao Maxian saw this from the periphery, her large eyes also flickered. Then, as if she had made up her mind, Xiao Maxian also joined in the battle. The celestial demon cult's Xiao Maxian is actually helping the Jun family? Some geniuses were puzzled. The celestial demon cult didn't seem to have any relationship with the Jun family, right? Some people thought that this was Xiao Maxian's own idea. Little big brother Xiaoyao, I'm betting on you. Xiao Maxian thought to herself. She didn't help because she was kind, but because she wanted to befriend Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao had walked down his own great Tao. If he didn't die in the future, he would definitely become an unrivaled powerhouse. She actually helped. On the other side, Ji Qing, he was also watching the battle. Her eyes flashed with surprise. The human immortal cult and the celestial demon cult were enemies. As the saintess of the human immortal cult, she naturally paid close attention to Xiao Maxian's movements. However, after thinking about it, Ji Qing decided not to help. The entire scene was extremely chaotic. At the same time, the underworld prince was trying to think of a way to break through the array formation beneath the ground. Your turtle shell is quite hard. The underworld prince's eyes burned with the dark flames of hell. He suddenly raised his hand, and a terrifying dark energy erupted. Finally, an iron claw burning with dark flames appeared in his hand, emitting a tyrannical fluctuation. This was the underworld prince's life supreme weapon, the underworld king's claw. That's a supreme weapon. Many geniuses' eyes trembled as they saw this. As expected of an ancient freak, he took out a supreme weapon so easily. That was a weapon that even a supreme would be moved by. The Underworld Prince held the Underworld King's claw and slashed down. The purplish-black claw seemed to tear through the void as it crashed down. With a loud bang, the protective formation exploded into countless specks of light. Die. The Underworld Prince didn't even look at it. He activated his strongest ability with the Underworld King's claw. Heavenly Demon's 18 claws. The Underworld Prince blasted out 18 claw lights in an instant. They stacked on top of each other and blasted into the depths of the ground. Even an ancient freak would be severely injured or even killed by such a powerful move if he wasn't prepared. How dare you? Seeing this, the June family's echelon and the others were all furious. That was the last ancient freak of their June family. How could they let him die just like that? June Lingsong pulled off the black cloth covering his eyes. In an instant, the light from his polychoria split the heavens and the earth. Terrifying black light splashed out, almost burning down the sky. June Lingsong could now truly activate the terrifying power of the polychoria. Even the Chilean sun was caught off guard and was forced back, spitting out a large mouthful of blood. June Lingsong took a step forward and was about to go and help. At the same time, Long Outyin saw this, and a cold light flashed in his golden dragon eyes. Naturally, he couldn't let June Lingsong come to the rescue. Divine Void Mark. Long Outyin used the ancient Void Dragon clan's inherited divine ability. As he waved his hand, dragon patterns flashed in the void, drawing a terrifying mark that seemed to be able to cut open the sky. Jun Wushuang, who was fighting against him, was immediately hit and coughed out blood. Although they were both in the heavenly god realm, Jun Wushuang's strength was still far from Long Outyin's. How did he become so strong? On the other side, Jun Mulan, who was fighting with Feng Luofei, saw this scene and secretly gritted her teeth. Previously at the immortal ancient Dao Lake, Long Outyin was like a clown in the hands of Jun Xiaoyao. He couldn't resist at all. Now that Jun Xiaoyao was no longer around, he began to show off. Jun Lingsong, you want to save the last ancient freak of the Jun family? You must be dreaming. Long Outyin made his move and blocked Jun Lingsong once again. At this time, the Prince of the Underworld also used his ultimate skill. One terrifying divine ability after another poured down in torrents. The whole ground was bombarded to the point that it was about to collapse. Seeing this scene, many of the geniuses who were watching from the outside swallowed a mouthful of saliva. The Prince of the Underworld's methods were really ruthless. After these powerful attacks landed, there would be nothing left of the ancient freak of the Jun family. It's over. The final result is that I am the winner. The Prince of the Underworld stopped with a faint smile on his face. He had once fought with the Jun family for the position of Sequence 0, and in the end, he won. However, just as the corner of the Prince of the Underworld's mouth curled up into a smile, a lazy voice suddenly sounded from the depths of the ground. Prince of the Underworld, your methods are still as low level as before. Chapter 454. This voice seemed to carry a hint of laziness. However, all the Sky Prides realized that the temperature around them had dropped to the freezing point. It was an extreme killing intent and coldness that had infected the surroundings, causing changes. This aura, Dao God Stage. Many Sky Prides were shocked. The Dao God Stage allowed one to have a deeper understanding of the Dao patterns. Every action and emotion could cause changes in the environment. After hearing the voice, the Underworld Prince's pupils shrank. His eyes were filled with coldness. Rumble. It was as if there were dragons moving under the ground. Then, with a violent rumble, a divine weapon suddenly rose from the ground. It was an umbrella, an incomparably huge umbrella. The surface of the umbrella was covered with countless Dao patterns. As it spun, it emitted rays of light. This umbrella was also a supreme artifact. No wonder. Many Sky Prides were enlightened. Logically speaking, no one should have been able to survive the Underworld Prince's powerful attacks. However, This supreme artifact umbrella had turned into a defensive weapon and blocked most of the power of the Underworld Prince's attack. That's the heavenly secret umbrella. Could it be that the one slumbering here is that person? In the distance, the ancient freak of the Ji clan, Ji Changkong, who was watching the battle, had a shocked expression suddenly surge onto his face. Who? Ji Qingyi was surprised. As an ancient freak of the Ji family, Ji Changkong had lost his composure. On the other side, the ancient freak of the Yi family, Yi Nantian, was also shocked. That's right, the heavenly secret umbrella. It really is him. Although Yi Nantian was not from the same era as that person, he had heard of the legend of the heavenly secret umbrella. Damn it, that person from the Jun family has not been killed by the Underworld Prince. Wu Shuo, the ancient freak of the Demon God Palace, was also shocked. The ancient freaks who knew a little about this were also shocked. As for the other Sky Prides, they were also shocked. In the past, the birth of some ancient freaks had not caused such a shock. What was the background of this ancient freak who was sleeping in the Jun family? As for Jun Lingsong and the other sequence alchemists, they were slightly relieved. At least the ancient freak of the Jun family was still alive. As long as he was alive, there was still a chance. "You're pretty tough," said the Underworld Prince coldly. A figure slowly stepped out from the depths of the ground. The young man had a head full of black hair, mixed with a few strands of white hair. He wore a loose white robe with a wine gourd at his waist. His appearance was also peerlessly handsome. His facial features were like jade, and he was almost at the level of Jun Xiaoyao. In his era, he could also make countless women fall for him. The handsome man slowly raised his hand, and the Tianji umbrella instantly shrunk and landed in his hand. He held the Tianji umbrella in his hand and had a wine gourd hanging from his waist. He looked relaxed and lazy. However, none of the ancient freaks present dared to underestimate this existence. The aura of the Tao divinity stage. Who exactly is he from the Jun family? Ji Qingyi's eyes rippled. Lying drunk on the battlefield, Lord Grimm. Ji Changkong's tone was incomparably solemn. Following the birth of Lord Grimm, the crowd went into an uproar. When some of the geniuses found out about Lord Grimm's background, their eyes widened in shock. The former Sequence Zero of the Jun family. He had the strongest Run Wong physique. Yet another terrifying monster. Now, some of the onlooking geniuses finally understood why the Archean royalty and other forces wanted to destroy the younger generation of the Jun family. It was because this was too King terrifying. Jun Xiaoyao alone was enough to make all the geniuses of the Huangtian mystic realm suffocate. If Lord Grimm and other ancient freaks were added to the mix, then how could anyone else walk on the Emperor Road? The Jun family might as well just take over the entire Emperor Road. The former Sequence Zero of the Jun family. Jun Wushuang, Jun Mulan, and other sequences were also excited. This is the Tao divinity stage. Even Xiaoyao hasn't reached this level yet. Jun Mulan thought to herself. Lord Grimm, a legend, has awakened. Jiang Tianyin, who was fighting with Ao Guang and the others, murmured to himself. With the birth of Lord Grimm, the entire situation seemed to have changed. Lord Grimm raised his eyelids and looked at the Prince of the Underworld. He said calmly, "Prince of the Underworld, in our era, you are an opponent that I am somewhat interested in. But now, it seems that your methods are not worthy of your status. The winner takes all. Lord Grimm, you can't be that naive, can you?" The Prince of the Underworld said coldly. Lord Grimm didn't say anything. If he was that naive, he wouldn't have been qualified to rule an era. Lord Grimm, don't think that I don't know that your aura has yet to merge with the world. It is at its weakest. Coupled with the attack just now, you must have been injured. Trying to fool me is a bit ridiculous. The Prince of the Underworld saw through Lord Grimm's condition. So what? Killing you is not a problem. Lord Grimm raised his hand as soon as he finished speaking. The surface of the Tianji umbrella suddenly closed and turned into the shape of a sharp awl. The Tianji umbrella turned into a spear-shaped weapon, the Tianji spear. Lord Grimm, lying drunk on the battlefield. How many geniuses have returned? Prince of the Underworld, I will take your life today. Lord Grim held the Tianji spear and took a big gulp of wine from the gourd at his waist. The aura of the Tao God realm exploded and swept across the sky. Countless Tao patterns swept out like a tidal wave. You are the one who should die. The Prince of the Underworld also activated his Underworld King bloodline. His aura rose rapidly, and finally, he exuded the aura of a Tao God. Two Tao gods. The geniuses were shocked. They had never seen such a great battle before. The two geniuses were engaged in a chaotic battle. However, everyone could see that the Prince of the Underworld was born. The Prince of the Underworld's aura had merged with the world and was extremely harmonious. He could also unleash his full strength. As for Lord Grim, he had just broken through and his strength was at a low level. In addition, he had taken the Prince of the Underworld's attack head-on. It was impossible to say that he was not injured at all. Therefore, the Jun family was still in a disadvantageous situation. We have to end this battle quickly. We can't drag it out. Long Outyen's eyes flashed coldly when he saw this. If Lord Grim was not taken care of, he would be a huge threat. Thinking of this, Long Outyen looked at Jun Wushuang. His feet suddenly flashed, and as if he was shuttling through the void, his speed was extremely fast. In the next moment, he appeared in front of Jun Wushuang. What? Even Jun Wushuang was stunned for a moment and was very surprised. Long Outyen's speed was just too fast. Little did they know that Long Outyen had cultivated half a scroll of the space book and had a basic grasp of the power of space. Great Void Dragon Fist. Long Outyen threw out a punch. Accompanied by the shadow of the ancient Void Dragon, the entire space shook as if it could shatter the sky. Uffed. Jun Wushuang spat out a mouthful of blood and retreated rapidly. His entire body crashed into the ground, and he was severely injured. Then, he continued to charge towards Jun Mulan and the others. Let's take care of these sequences first. Then, we will form the Four Spirits Heaven Punishment Array and trap Lord Grim. Chapter 455. Long Outyen was determined to kill Lord Grim. If Lord Grim didn't die and joined forces with Jun Xiaoyao, Long Outyen would have no chance to rise. That was why he had to kill Lord Grim first, then Jun Xiaoyao, and completely eradicate the combat power of the Jun family's younger generation. When the Emperor Road opened, it would be the stage for Long Outyen to shine. On the other hand, Wang Teng was thinking the same thing. He stopped fighting Jiang Xingyi. His body shook, and the shadows of the four spirits appeared around him. The true dragon extended its claws. The divine phoenix spread its wings. The Qilin stepped on the air, and the black tortoise suppressed the sky. A cold glint flashed across Jiang Xingyi's beautiful eyes as she felt the terrifying pressure. Her innate embryo of Taoism was powerful, but Wang Teng's methods were not that simple. The shadows of the four spirits immediately stalled Jiang Xingyi. Wang Teng also freed himself to deal with the remaining sequences of the Jun family. Wang Teng and Long Outyen were both protagonists of the world with great luck. If the two of them joined forces, even the sequences of the Jun family would not be able to resist. How dare you? Jun Lingsong's polychoria eyes shone brightly. However, he was once again held back by the Qilin child. Jun Lingsong, your opponent is me. The Qilin child shook, and purple qi surrounded him. He had also activated his noble Qilin bloodline. At the same time, he performed the Qilin's great magic to hold back Jun Lingsong. As for the others, they all had their own opponents. In addition, the number of people on the Jun family side was already fewer than the Archean royalty and other enemy forces. Jiang Tanyan, Wang Chuan, and other ancient freaks were also held back by Ao Guang, Little Sorcerer God, Heavenly Eye Saint, and other young kings of the immortal ancient era. Therefore, no one could free themselves to help the sequences of the Jun family. Wang Teng and Long Outyen temporarily joined forces. Under their attacks, Jun Mulan, Jun Wanjie, and the others could not resist at all. Jun Wushuang was also severely injured by Long Outyen before. Under the bombardment, several sequences of the Jun family were sent flying while vomiting blood. It was not that the sequences of the Jun family were weak, but that Wang Teng and Long Outyen were both giants of the world. If the two of them joined forces, they could even fight against an ancient freak, let alone a current sequence. You bastards. When Xiaoyao gets here, you'll be in for it. June Mulan was heavily injured and coughed up blood. She held the heavy sword in her hand and supported her body so that she didn't fall. She angrily rebuked. Long Outyin was as pathetic as a dog in front of Jun Xiaoyao, but now he was showing off. You? Long Outyin's eyes were cold. Forget it. It's more important to kill Lord Grimm first. Once he's dead, the outcome will be decided, Wang Tong said. Long Outyin nodded slightly. If he wanted to completely kill Jun Mulan and the others, it would take some time. What he couldn't afford to waste now was time. Soon, Long Outyin was free to join Wang Tong, Feng Tiange, and Feng Luofei in forming the Four Spirits Heaven Punishment Formation. At the sight of this, many sky prides from the outside world shook their heads. If the four of them joined the battle, then Lord Grimm would truly be in danger. Why hasn't the Jun family son of God shown himself yet? It'll be too late by the time he gets here. The Jun family son of God might be cultivating in seclusion somewhere. But to be honest, even if the Jun family son of God comes, what can he do? No matter how strong he is, he can only break through to the celestial god stage at most. It'll be difficult for him to deal with Wang Tong, Long Outyin, and the others. Some people were discussing. While Long Outyin had suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of Jun Xiaoyao, it was apparent that he had undergone a metamorphosis, and his powers were no longer what they used to be. Wang Tong had never been defeated in the immortal ancient, and had cultivated all the way to the celestial god stage. Many people thought that Wang Tong alone was enough to fight Jun Xiaoyao. So even if Jun Xiaoyao came, he might not be able to deal with Wang Tong, Long Outyin, and the others. While everyone was thinking about this, Wang Tong, Long Outyin, Feng Tiange, and Feng Luofei had formed the Four Spirits Heaven Punishment Formation and began to join the battle. On the other side, Prince Ming-shun and Lord Grimm had been fighting fiercely. They were old rivals and lived in the same era. Prince Ming-shun had the bloodline of the Nether King, while Lord Grimm had the supreme human emperor physique, which ranked in the top 30 among the 3,000 physiques. Although Lord Grimm's strength had not recovered to its peak, and he had suffered some injuries before, he was still strong. However, he was still able to fight the prince of the underworld with ease. This Lord Grimm is indeed difficult to deal with. Prince Ming-shun's face was gloomy. He thought that he could get rid of Lord Grimm quickly, but who would have thought that he could not kill him directly? At this time, Wang Tong and the others formed the formation and attacked. Seeing this scene, Prince Ming-shun's eyes flashed, but he did not say anything. Just as he said, the one who lived to the end would be the winner. It did not matter what method he used to win. As long as Lord Grimm was dead, all the problems would be solved. Kill. Long Outyin, Wang Tong, and the others activated the formation. The spirits of the four divine beasts roared and suppressed Lord Grimm. Lord Grimm's black hair, mixed with white hair, danced in the wind. He held the Tianji spear, transformed from the Tianji umbrella, and thrust it out. Dao pattern spread. Even though Wang Tong, Long Outyin, and the others resisted with the formation, their bodies trembled as they felt an extremely strong force. Is this the power of a Dao god? Long Outyin, Wang Tong, and the others looked serious. But they were all the chosen ones and had the ability to challenge those of a higher level. Besides, the four of them formed the formation together, so they could withstand it. Prince Ming-shun also attacked at the same time. He was a Dao god powerhouse in his peak state. Limitless Death Seal. Heavenly Ghosts, 18 Claws. Prince Ming-shun used the Limitless Death Seal with one hand and the Hades Claw with the other to activate the Heavenly Ghosts, 18 Claws. Terrifying power poured out. Wang Tong, Long Outyin, and the others joined attack formation. Even a Dao god powerhouse in his peak state might not be able to withstand the fluctuation. Not to mention that Lord Grimm had not recovered his strength and was suffering from internal injuries. However, there wasn't a trace of fear on Lord Grimm's face. As the Sequence Zero of the previous generation of the Jun family, Lord Grimm was still calm even in such a desperate situation. His body shook as a golden aura soared into the sky. Then, it gathered above his head to form a dazzling golden canopy. That's the Ren Huang physique's vision of heaven and earth, the Emperor's canopy. Seeing this scene, some of the geniuses who knew a little about the Ren Huang physique could not help but exclaim. As one of the top 30 terrifying physiques among the 3,000 physiques, the Ren Huang physique naturally had its own vision of heaven and earth. It was the Emperor's canopy. Lord Grimm, who was protected by the Emperor's canopy, held the Tianji spear in his hand and looked like an emperor war god. Endless spear technique. Lord Grimm's spear swept across the sky, exuding a terrifying aura that could kill all things. Boom! It was as if a nuclear bomb had exploded and violent mana ripples spread out in all directions. In such an extreme collision, both sides were forced to retreat. Lord Grimm felt a fishy taste in his throat, but he swallowed it down. No matter how strong Lord Grimm was, he was still a human, not a god. To be able to fight to such an extent in such a desperate situation was already extremely unexpected. As expected of the former Sequence Zero of the Jun family. Even though he's at his lowest state and is injured, he can still fight against the Prince of Ming, Wang Teng, Long Out Yin, and the other top geniuses by himself. His strength is simply amazing. Many of the onlooking geniuses could not help but exclaim. This was like a second Jun Xiaoyao. Humph, it's over. Long Out Yin snorted coldly, and once again activated the array to the extreme with Wang Teng and the others, suppressing them. The Prince of Ming also used his ultimate move, and the Claw of Hell came crashing down. Lord Grimm held the Tianji spear in his hand and laughed wantonly. What's the use of killing me? Today, even if I die, I will drag you down with me. Lord Grimm drank a mouthful of wine, ready to fight to the death. This is not good. Jun Lingsong saw this scene and frowned. The death of Jun Haoyang and the others was already a great loss. If even the former Sequence Zero of the Jun family died, it would be like cutting off a piece of meat for the Jun family. Not only that, but it would also have a great impact on their reputation. Outsiders would say that the Jun family could not even protect their own ancient freak. It might even affect the power structure in the future. At the same time, in the outside world, beside the immortal ancient mirror, many of the Jun family's elders were also tense. They seemed indifferent, but their hearts were in their mouths. If a person with a Ren Huang physique died, even the Jun family would feel extremely pained. Xiaoyao. Jun Zhantian clenches fists. It could be said that at this moment, regardless of the countless forces outside the immortal ancient mirror, or the various forces inside the immortal ancient mirror, all of their gazes were fixed on Lord Grimm. If Lord Grimm survived, the Jun family would be safe. If Lord Grimm died, the Jun family would suffer great losses in all aspects, just as everyone was holding their breaths. And at this critical moment, in the distant sky, a dragon's roar sounded, accompanied by celestial light. At the same time, an indifferent and cold voice sounded like the voice of a god. A bunch of ants dare to overturn the sky. Do you really think that the Jun family has no one? Chapter 456. The voice was incomparably cold and calm, and it was not very loud. But strangely, it resounded in everyone's ears. Hearing this voice, everyone was stunned at first, and then their minds immediately exploded. This was especially true for those who had heard the voice before. Their gazes suddenly turned towards the source of the voice, and their expressions were filled with unprecedented shock. He's here. That man, he's here. In the distant sky, a slender fairy dragon with the majestic aura of the dragon clan was riding on the clouds. On the dragon's head, a slender young figure stood against the wind. His long hair fluttered in the breeze. His handsome face carried a godlike indifference and coldness. It was as if he was looking down at the ants from the heavens. He stood with his hands behind his back, and his clothes fluttered in the wind. The celestial light around him surged, as if he was the son of the immortal emperor, the descendant of the gods. He quietly rode the dragon with the wind, but he seemed to give people the feeling that he was an immortal god descending to the world. It's the son of God of the June family. He's here. How is it possible? I can't accurately sense the cultivation aura of the son of God of the June family. Oh my God. Why do I feel like an immortal has arrived? With the appearance of Jun Xiaoyao, the whole place was in an uproar. If there was something missing in this battle that concerned the Jun family, of course, it was the core and soul of the Jun family, the son of God of the Jun family, Jun Xiaoyao. Many people thought that Jun Xiaoyao might not come, but now he was here. Jun Xiaoyao's arrival was no doubt like a bomb exploding, causing an uproar everywhere. Many people who were familiar with him were so excited that they couldn't control themselves. Xiaoyao, seeing that familiar handsome figure, Jiang Xingyi's eyes trembled. She realized that she missed someone so much. Brother Xiaoyao, Jiang Luoli's eyes were also filled with deep longing. There were also Yin Qingying, Wu Mingyue, Su Ziqiang, Hua Shiqing, and Bai Mei Er. These women who had some sort of relationship with Jun Xiaoyao in the past were all in a daze. In addition, even Ji Qingyi, Xiao Maxian, and Yin Romeng, who weren't too close to Jun Xiaoyao, were stunned, unable to believe what they were seeing. His aura, why does it feel like? Ji Qingyi's clear eyes were filled with confusion. Is he the son of God of the Jun family? Ji Changkong frowned. Previously, when Ji Qingyi had told him about it, he had not taken it seriously. But now that he had seen it with his own eyes, his temperament and aura were indeed something. Am I seeing things? The son of God of the Jun family is stepping on Princess Longji? F***CK, that's amazing. He's really treating Princess Longji as his mount. Many sky prides were stunned when they saw the fairy dragon, unable to believe their eyes. Jun, Xiao, Yao. If there was anyone present who hated Jun Xiaoyao the most, it would naturally be Long Outyin. His golden dragon eyes were filled with extreme hatred and coldness, especially when he saw that Princess Longji had really become Jun Xiaoyao's mount. Long Outyin was so angry that he felt as if his organs were burning. The woman that he wanted to marry as his wife ended up being Jun Xiaoyao's mount instead. F***CK. This was a blatant humiliation and a slap in the face. Long Outyin wasn't the only one who wanted to kill Jun Xiaoyao. Wang Teng was the same. It would have been better if you didn't appear. But since you've taken the initiative to appear, don't blame me. Wang Teng's eyes were extremely cold. Not only had Jun Xiaoyao stopped his marriage with Jiang Xingyi, but he had also destroyed one of his spiritual bodies. If he didn't defeat Jun Xiaoyao with his own hands, where would his dignity be? On the other side, Jun Mulan and the other sequence echelon cultivators were pleasantly surprised. They knew that since Jun Xiaoyao had come out of seclusion, his strength must have improved greatly. However, at this moment, Jun Xiaoyao's aura was unfathomable. No one could determine his exact level. At this moment, a crow-like voice rang out. "You're Jun Xiaoyao. How dare you provoke the people of the Demon God Palace? Kneel down and apologize." The person who spoke was the ancient freak of the Demon God Palace, the descendant of the supreme being of the Demon Tao, Wu Sha. Jun Xiaoyao's gaze turned to Wu Sha indifferently. Late-stage, celestial god cultivation was indeed extraordinary. If Jun Xiaoyao hadn't gone into seclusion, he might have had to put in a lot of effort to deal with this. But now, huh? What? Are you so scared that you don't dare to speak? Wu Shua's lips curled into a cold smile. On the other side, Yin Rumeng, who did not participate in the battle, suddenly felt a strong sense of foreboding when she looked at Jun Xiaoyao, whose aura was unfathomable. Jun Xiaoyao didn't say a word. He simply stretched out his palm. Countless Tao inscriptions intertwined in the void, forming a giant palm of magic power that blotted out the sky. As the palm stretched out, Jun Xiaoyao's true level of cultivation also completely erupted. Countless Tao inscriptions surrounded him. All kinds of mysterious runes flickered in the void. This aura, it's the same as Lord Grimm and Prince Mingshun. Am I mistaken? The Tao God realm? The son of God of the Jun family is in the Tao God realm. Countless people in all directions were stunned and petrified when Wu Shua sensed the power of the Tao God's palm strike. The sneer on his face changed drastically. Dao God Realm? How is this possible? Wu Shuo shrieked. At the same time, he transformed into his true form. A giant crow with dark red eyes and pitch-black feathers appeared. It was the Crow of Calamity. He activated the Crow of Calamity's innate superpower. A terrifying demonic sound turned into a destructive sound wave that spread out. However, Jun Xiaoyao's palm of magic power pressed down, obliterating all the sound waves. Even the Crow of Calamity was crushed in his hand. He extended his hand into the air and clenched it all of a sudden. The giant palm of magic power, formed by Dao inscriptions, also suddenly closed. Crack! Blood spurted out, bones shattered, and feathers flew everywhere. Wu Shuo's body and primordial spirit were completely crushed. The ancient freak of the demon god palace, Wu Shuo, had fallen. Dead silence. An unprecedented dead silence. A dead silence that felt like the end of the world. Everyone present felt as if their souls had been sucked out. It was as if they were only left with a shell. What did they see? A powerful ancient freak in a late-stage heavenly god realm was crushed to death by Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao didn't even bother to say a word to Wu Shuo from the very beginning. My brother Jun is a man of few words, crushing an ancient freak to death with a single palm. Tell me I'm dreaming. I also feel like I'm dreaming. How is this possible? All the spectating prodigies felt as if they were in a dream. This was an ancient freak with a powerful bloodline and a lofty status. Yet, he was so easily killed by Jun Xiaoyao. Yen Rumeng was stupefied. Her flawless face lost all its color. She had imagined all kinds of scenarios, but she didn't expect this to happen. Jun Xiaoyao killed an ancient freak like stepping on ants. I want to kill you. I want to destroy you. I want to humiliate you. All of you. Are you ready to bear the wrath of this son of God? Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back, his expression cold. Like a god, he controlled life and death. Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. =. Chapter 457. At this moment, all the enemies of the Jun family had unprecedented fear on their faces. Jun Xiaoyao's move shocked everyone. His cultivation of the Dao God realm was even more unbelievable. Jun Xiaoyao was a genius of the current era, not some ancient freak. Even at 16 years old, he was considered young among the current generation of geniuses. A 16-year-old Dao God realm powerhouse was simply freaking abnormal. Even some of the top ancient freaks were only at that level. Not to mention the others, even Lord Grimm was a little startled. Is there an ancient freak in the Jun family? Lord Grimm was a little confused. He was able to sense that Jun Xiaoyao's aura was of the same bloodline as his. However, his cultivation didn't seem like a contemporary genius at all. It was more like a young king from ancient times who had woken up from a deep slumber. How is this possible? How did he cultivate to the Dao God realm? Long Outyan's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. His face was extremely distorted. He couldn't believe it, and he didn't want to believe it. He originally thought that his mid-stage heavenly god cultivation was enough to crush Jun Xiaoyao. But now, Jun Xiaoyao was able to crush an ancient freak in late-stage celestial god realm. This was King ridiculous. Long Outyan was about to break down mentally. He wanted to curse. It felt like a person who had finally cultivated to the Star Glory stage and was ready to show off. However, he was facing a hidden king of glory. What was the point of competing? Long Outyan wasn't the only one who had broken down mentally. Wang Tang's aura was also a little unstable. Dao God realm. Wang Tang was stunned. He couldn't believe his eyes. He had been blessed since he was young. His father, Wang Yuanba, thought that he had the bearing of an emperor. However, compared to Jun Xiaoyao, it was obvious who had the bearing of an emperor. How was this possible? How can this be? Wang Ting clenched his fists. He wanted to let Jiang Xingyi know who was better between him and Jun Xiaoyao. However, there was no need to compete now. Dao God realm. This is a contemporary genius. The Prince of the Underworld was also a little confused. His target was only Lord Grimm. He didn't care about the contemporary geniuses. But now, Jun Xiaoyao's appearance left the underworld prince a little dumbfounded. The geniuses who were enemies of the Jun family were all scared out of their wits. The geniuses on the Jun family's side heaved a sigh of relief. The severely injured Jun Wushuang, Jun Mulan, and the others' eyes were filled with surprise. As for Jiang Xingyi, Jiang Luoli, and the other girls, besides longing, there was also surprise and admiration in their eyes. Jun Xiaoyao had never disappointed. He was always creating miracles. As for the heavens' favorites who were watching from afar, they too found it hard to conceal their astonishment. Qingyi, I didn't really believe what you said before, but now I do. Ji Changkong took a deep breath. The aura emanating from Jun Xiaoyao at the moment made him feel extremely pressured. Even I didn't think his strength would reach this level. He could casually kill an ancient freak. Ji Qingyi's eyes were dazed. At the same time, there was a faint trace of regret and annoyance in her heart. If she had been like Xiao Maxian and helped the Jun family, then perhaps some of the previous friction could have been completely eliminated. Moreover, she would have been able to befriend an extremely powerful genius. Unfortunately, regret was useless. On the other side, Xiao Maxian covered her mouth with her hands, her eyes wide open. Little big brother Carefree has actually become so strong. Xiao Maxian was startled, but also overjoyed. She had made the right bet. The reason she had helped the Jun family was to befriend Jun Xiaoyao. And now, Jun Xiaoyao's strength had far surpassed her expectations. Jun Xiaoyao. Long Outyan's eyes burst out with light. He couldn't accept this reality. I have the ability to jump ranks to challenge others. I don't fear him. Long Outyan clenched his teeth. He couldn't bear it any longer. He directly attacked, activating the supernatural ability of the ancient Void Dragon race, the Void Dragon Fist. As his fist punched out, ripples appeared in the void in front of him, and the phantom of an ancient dragon appeared. However, Jun Xiaoyao stood there with his hands crossed behind his back, his expression indifferent. He looked at Long Outyan as if he were looking at an ant. What's going on? The Jun family son of God isn't reacting at all. Is he not placing Long Outyan in his eyes? Many geniuses were shocked. Die. As Long Outyan saw this, he was even more enraged. His middle celestial realm cultivation completely erupted. His fist punched out, but the result was that terrifying fist light turned into nothingness 100 feet in front of Jun Xiaoyao. It didn't even flutter the hem of Jun Xiaoyao's clothes. This is... Long Outyan was stunned once more. By the way, the Jun family son of God seems to have a secret technique that can give him a certain level of magical immunity, some of the geniuses said. It wasn't the first time Jun Xiaoyao had used magical immunity. Therefore, some people still noticed it. Originally, the strength of Long Outyan's Void Dragon Fist was enough to break through Jun Xiaoyao's magical immunity. Unfortunately, Jun Xiaoyao's strength had increased to the Tao God stage, so the magical immunity's effects had naturally increased again. Long Outyan, it seems like you've gotten some opportunities, but unfortunately... Jun Xiaoyao's tone was cold as he shook his head slightly. He wasn't surprised that Long Outyan had gotten some opportunities. No matter how strong he was, he couldn't be stronger than him. Next, I'll give you a taste of your own medicine. As soon as Jun Xiaoyao finished speaking, he raised his hand and activated the 7 dragons' vital energy. 7 dragon-shaped phantoms of different attributes appeared, letting out dragon roars. The 7 dragons intertwined and turned into an apocalyptic wave that attacked Long Outyan. It was the ultimate move. 7 dragons destroy the world. This is my 7 dragons' vital energy. Long Outyan's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. The dragon soul blade appeared in his hand, and he slashed horizontally. However, the result was puffed. Under Jun Xiaoyao's attack, Long Outyan couldn't fight back at all. He spat out blood, his bones were broken, and he was knocked back hundreds of feet. Jun Xiaoyao's casual attack had severely injured Long Outyan. Everyone was stunned and silent. That was Zulong's forbidden first generation, and his strength was comparable to that of an ancient freak. In the end, He couldn't even take a casual attack from Jun Xiaoyao. Why do I feel that the Jun family son of God's 7 dragons' vital energy is more than 10 times stronger than Long Outyen's? Yeah, I think so too. The Jun family son of God's dragon clan's divine power is even stronger than Long Outyen's. Many geniuses were extremely surprised. Hearing this, Long Outyen couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. At this time, Lord Grimm also took the opportunity to break free from the trap. His figure flashed, and he rushed to Jun Xiaoyao's side. "Brother, you are." Lord Grimm also sized up Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao, the current sequence 0 of the Jun family. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. "I see." Lord Grimm suddenly understood. Sequence 0 was not a sequence 0 in every generation. Only a true genius would be able to take on this identity. Lord Grimm thought that he was already monstrous enough, but this generation's sequence 0 was even stronger. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao and Lord Grimm stood together. The two sequences of the Jun family stood side by side, and their aura shocked everyone. The underworld prince's face changed, and it was extremely ugly. "Brother Xiaoyao, what do we do next?" Lord Grimm held the Tianji spear and smiled. "Of course, blood for blood, a life for a life." Jun Xiaoyao also put on the Overlord Exterminating Holy King gloves. Who could defeat the Sequence 0 of the Jun family on the same stage? Chapter 458. When they saw the two Sequence 0s, Jun Xiaoyao and Lord Grimm, standing side by side, their faces turned pale. The faces of the geniuses from the opposing forces of the Jun family were ashen, as if they had lost their parents. Killing Lord Grimm alone had taken them a lot of effort, and they had yet to succeed. Now, there was an even more monstrous and powerful Jun Xiaoyao. How were they going to fight? The morale of the Kingslayer team dropped to the lowest point. Many of the primordial royal geniuses were terrified. "Brother Xiaoyao, who do you choose?" Lord Grimm asked. Jun Xiaoyao could choose Prince Ming, Long Outyen, Wang Tung, and the others. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly and shook his head when he heard that. "You're injured, so you should rest first. Leave this place to me." Jun Xiaoyao took out an immortality herb and handed it to Lord Grimm. Lord Grimm was stunned. "Brother Xiaoyao, Prince Ming is also in the Dao God realm. He's not easy to deal with." Lord Grimm and Prince Ming were old enemies. He knew how powerful he was. Jun Xiaoyao was also in the Dao God realm, but that didn't fully represent his strength. Besides, Long Outyen, Wang Tung, and the others were watching from the side. They're just a bunch of weaklings. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care at all. All right. Lord Grimm was a little embarrassed. He swallowed the immortality herb and began to recover. "Attack! We can't let Lord Grimm recover," shouted the underworld prince. Jun Xiaoyao, who was at the Divine Path realm, was already difficult enough to deal with. If Lord Grimm recovered from his injuries, the Kingslayer plan would fail. Not only that, but a large number of people would have to pay with their lives. Wang Tung, Long Outyen, Feng Tiange, Feng Luofei, and the others looked at each other and saw the determination in each other's eyes. Jun Xiaoyao must die. 4 spirits, heaven punishment formation. Long Outyen and the others activated the formation again, summoning 4 godly beast spirits to suppress Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao punched out with the hand that was wearing the Saint King Annihilation Overlord's glove. Countless Dao patterns appeared, transforming into a long river that surged out majestically. Boom! Heaven and earth shook violently. Long Outyen and the other three's formation was destroyed by a single punch. This degree of vigor caused countless gasps to ring out in the surroundings. Before the opening of the immortal ancient place, everyone assumed that Wang Tung, Long Outyen, or anyone else would be a worthy opponent for Jun Xiaoyao. And now, even with the 4 of them joining forces, they still couldn't withstand a single punch from Jun Xiaoyao. How could this be? Wang Tung and Long Outyen started to doubt their lives. The 4 of them were no match for Jun Xiaoyao, even if they joined forces. Just as Jun Xiaoyao attacked, Princess Longji transformed into her human form. Her eyes were extremely cold as she looked at Ao Wan. Today you must die. Long Ao Yin won't be able to save you. Princess Longji attacked Ao Wan. Ao Wan's face turned pale. On the other side, Ao Guang saw this and stepped forward to block Princess Longji. On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao looked at Long Ao Yin and the others. If it was before, he thought that Long Ao Yin, Wang Tong, and the others would be a little troublesome to deal with. But now, they were no match for him, even if they joined forces. Pay with your life for the two ancient freaks of the Jun family. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was indifferent as he struck out with his palm again. Seeing this, the four of them used their strongest moves. Huang Tiange let out a long howl. The divine phoenix's undying flame surged out as if it wanted to burn the heavens. Feng Luofei gritted her teeth. A pair of beautiful phoenix wings spread out, carrying with them a monstrous spiritual energy. Long Outyin held the dragon soul blade in his hand and slashed out. Dragon chi boiled, and 1,000 feet long blade light swept across the sky. Wang Tung took out a golden holy sword. This was a gift from the heavens. The golden holy sword swept across the sky, and a vast amount of sword light swept out. The four heavens' favorites joined forces to attack. Its terrifying power was enough to threaten the lives of the ancient freaks. However, in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, these moves were extremely laughable. He used his finger as a sword and slashed out with the sword of the immortal slayer. A vast amount of sword light swept across the sky, showing the fall of the immortals. As Jun Xiaoyao's capabilities increased, the power of his various techniques naturally increased as well. With one slash, the four heavens' favorite strongest moves were broken. Long Outyin and Wang Tung were slightly better off. They only spat out a mouthful of blood. After all, their capabilities were stronger. However, Feng Luofei and Huang Tiange were in a more miserable state. They spat out mouthfuls of blood, and their bodies were covered in sword wounds. Die! Jun Xiaoyao simply pointed his finger and used the finger of the Thunder Emperor. 1,000-foot giant finger, like the Thunder Emperor himself, pressed down on Huang Tiange. Huang Tiange roared and burned her talent to the extreme. She even sacrificed her bloodline. However, the sound of bones breaking could be heard. Huang Tiange's entire body was crushed to pieces by the finger. Her flesh and blood were turned into black dust by the lightning. How is this possible? Huang Tiange. Feng Luofei was completely stunned. Huang Tiange, who was as famous as her, had fallen so easily. She was killed by Jun Xiaoyao with one finger. Don't worry, you can go down and accompany him. A divine chain of order flew out from Jun Xiaoyao's forehead and turned into the sword of the Origin Emperor. It slashed towards Feng Luofei again. No, Feng Luofei had completely lost her will to fight. She turned around and flapped her wings to escape. In her eyes, Jun Xiaoyao was the king of hell who came to take her life. However, it was still futile. With a plop, the sword of the Origin Emperor cut Feng Luofei's delicate body in half. Even her primordial spirit was destroyed. In the blink of an eye, the Phoenix Sun and Phoenix Maiden of Myriad Phoenix Spirit Mountain had fallen. The surroundings were silent. At that moment, Jun Xiaoyao was practically unstoppable. He could kill anything that stood in his way. Long Outyin's entire body turned cold as if he had fallen into an ice cave. He felt that even if he stimulated the blood of the Emperor Dragon, it would be difficult to pose any threat to Jun Xiaoyao. Damn it, how can he be so strong? Long Outyin was puzzled. He was supposed to be the main character. Why was Jun Xiaoyao able to suppress him? Long Outyin, you've also grown fat. Jun Xiaoyao sized up Long Outyin. In his eyes, Long Outyin was like a juicy leek. Moreover, Jun Xiaoyao vaguely felt that there was an aura that resonated with him from Long Outyin's body. Could it be related to the 9 great heavenly books? Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. As the owner of the heavenly book, he might be able to vaguely sense other owners of the heavenly books. Of course, some of the more profound owners of the heavenly books might be able to block this perception. but it was clear that Long Ao Yin had not cultivated to perfection. Therefore, that aura was captured by Jun Xiaoyao. This is really a big leak. Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. The 9 great heavenly books, even he would be moved. Jun Xiaoyao stretched out his hand and directly grabbed at Long Ao Yin. Long Ao Yin clenched his teeth, wanting to stimulate the blood of the Emperor Dragon. But at this time, 18 terrifying claw lights came crashing down from the sky. In front of this prince, it is not your turn to be impudent. The one who attacked was the Underworld Prince. Chapter 459. As the trump card of the fallen god palace, he had once competed with Lord Grimm. The Prince of the Underworld's strength was undeniable. Among all the geniuses present, only the Prince of the Underworld could make Jun Xiaoyao pay attention. Jun Xiaoyao flipped his hand and punched the claw light. Although I don't know how you reached the Tao God realm at such a young age, you'd better keep a low profile in front of me. The Prince of the Underworld's eyes burned with death flames as he spoke indifferently. Others were afraid of Jun Xiaoyao, but he was not. His cultivation was also at the Tao God realm, and he had many trump cards. He was not even afraid of Lord Grimm, so why would he be afraid of a young man? Times have changed. In this era, you can sleep forever, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. What he meant was that the Prince of the Underworld could die now. You're asking for it. The Prince of the Underworld held the claw of the Underworld and clawed down. Heavenly Ghost Claw. As the claw came down, Underworld Chi and Ghost Chi surged as if a demon from the abyss had reached out from hell. Seeing this, Jun Xiaoyao also punched out with the Saint King Glove of the Annihilation Tyrant. Bang! The claw and fist met, and there was a cracking sound. Jun Xiaoyao's Saint King Glove of the Annihilation Tyrant was full of cracks. Oh! Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows. The Saint King Glove of the Annihilation Tyrant was a weapon that he had forged a long time ago. Now it seemed that it was not as strong as he wanted to be. Break! The Prince of the Underworld's eyes flashed as the claw of the Underworld shattered the Saint King Glove of the Annihilation Tyrant. Then the claw hit Jun Xiaoyao's chest. If this attack landed, it would be bad for them. Oh no! The son of God of the Jun family's divine weapon is broken. Many people whispered. On the Jun family side, everyone's hearts tightened. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm, as usual. His body shook, and the 7-colored divine light surged. Then a slender silver armor materialized inch by inch, sticking to Jun Xiaoyao's body. The surface of the silver armor was covered in a layer of colorful light, as if it was protected by the power of the 7 dragons. It was the 7-colored holy dragon armor. Clang! A crisp sound rang out. The supreme weapon, Hell King's Claw, struck the 7-colored sacred dragon armor, but it was unable to break through its defense. How is this possible? The Underworld Prince was shocked. Nobody expected Jun Xiaoyao to be able to conjure an armor with such formidable defensive capabilities right away. The primordial force of 7 dragons is inside it. Long Ao Yin clenched his teeth, and his eyes almost popped out of their sockets. That was the power he once possessed. Now, however, Jun Xiaoyao was playing an even greater role in the fight. This was unbearable. Long Ao Yin's battle intent began to waver. His mentality had completely collapsed. Where there's life, there's hope. Long Ao Yin was about to leave. He took a step forward, and the void rippled. His body transformed into an extremely fast speed, as if he was shuttling through the void. Jun Xiaoyao saw this and reached out his hand, wanting to stop Long Ao Yin. The Prince of the Underworld God attacked again. Limitless Death Seal. The Underworld Prince formed a seal with his hands, and a pitch-black seal came crashing down like an ancient demonic mountain. Jun Xiaoyao saw this and immediately punched out with the 6 paths of Reincarnation Fist. 6 reincarnation vortexes surged out along with the fist radiance and directly destroyed the Limitless Death Seal. At the same time, the aftershock blasted towards the Underworld Prince. The Underworld Prince used his Hell King's Claw as a shield to block the attack, but he was forced to take a few hundred steps back. His chest was trembling, and he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. What kind of technique is this? The Underworld Prince was shocked. He had never seen or heard of such a fist technique. It was as if the fist was going to send someone into the reincarnation cycle. It was hair-raising, and in this moment, Long Outyen's figure had disappeared without a trace. Forget it, Long Outyen. You're a fat sheep. You can't escape from the immortal ancient world. Jun Xiaoyao did not care too much. With Long Outyen's personality, he would definitely continue to cause trouble. When he had the chance, he would probably want to turn the tables and kill Jun Xiaoyao. When the time came, Long Outyen would take the initiative to come to him, and Jun Xiaoyao could just kill him with one palm. As for now, he would let the others pay the price first. I don't believe it. The Underworld Prince's face was cold. He had never been suppressed to such an extent by anyone. Even at his peak, Lord Grimm could only suppress him for a while and could not pose a threat to his life. However, Jun Xiaoyao's punch made him feel like he was about to die. The Underworld Prince was not stupid. He could feel that Jun Xiaoyao's physical body was insanely strong, and his golden blood qi was overwhelming. It should be the legendary sacred body of the ancients. If that's the case, then I'll use soul means to deal with you, the Underworld Prince said coldly. Then, he activated the power of his primordial spirit, and at the same time, he silently chanted a series of complex and obscure scriptures. For a moment, a deathly silent and tragic atmosphere spread out, as if all life had fallen and the world was mourning. Could that be the fallen god palace's sole grand magic, Pluto's great compassion mantra? Some of the geniuses who knew a little about it felt a chill down their spines. They quickly retreated and, at the same time, used their soul power to protect their primordial spirits. Pluto's great compassion mantra was a terrifying soul grand magic with a fierce reputation. Once it was chanted, it could make all life bleed. The Underworld Prince had the bloodline of the Underworld King. When he used the Pluto's great compassion mantra, its power was even more terrifying. Some of the geniuses who were slightly closer to him even bled from their orifices, and their primordial spirits exploded, dying. The Underworld Prince chanted the Pluto's great compassion mantra with all his might. Most of the power gathered toward Jun Xiaoyao. You want to compete with me on the path of souls? Jun Xiaoyao really wanted to laugh. The Underworld Prince knew that his physical body was strong, so he wanted to compete with him on the path of souls. Little did he know that Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit was the primordial spirit of the 3 lifetimes. He also cultivated the Tathagata mantra of the 3 lifetimes Celestial Sutra. Jun Xiaoyao also activated the power of his primordial spirit. In the void, the aura of his soul surged, a Vairocana that seemed to suppress all eternity and emitted endless light appeared. When the Vairocana appeared, the Pluto's great compassion mantra immediately dissipated. The Underworld Prince was stunned again. Your physical body is strong, so I can compete with you on the path of souls. In the end, your path of souls is also so strong. Can't we have a good time? Not only the Underworld Prince, but the other geniuses were also stunned. They knew that Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit was not weak, but they didn't expect it to be so strong. Even the geniuses who specialized in the primordial spirit and path of souls were no match for Jun Xiaoyao. Suppress. Jun Xiaoyao activated the power of his primordial spirit, and the Pluto's great compassion mantra was completely destroyed. The Underworld Prince's mind shook violently, and his primordial spirit trembled. He suffered a backlash and spat out a mouthful of blood. His head felt like it was about to explode. He was about to collapse. When he saw this, Wang Teng's heart turned cold. Even the Underworld Prince was no match for Jun Xiaoyao. Wang Teng, who had an invincible Dao heart, wanted to retreat. Damn it! The Underworld Prince's hair was disheveled, and his chin was covered in blood. His eyes were ferocious, and his face was contorted. In his era, he had been suppressed by Lord Grimm. Now, he had finally reappeared and wanted to fight for the mandate of heaven. Yet another monster had appeared, Jun Xiaoyao. How was he going to let them live? Today I will kill you. The Underworld Prince threw caution to the wind. His Pluto bloodline was fully activated, and his body was covered in a layer of terrifying Pluto flames. Oh no, is he going to use that move? Lord Grimm, who was recuperating, was shocked when he saw this. The power of that move was earth-shattering, and it was definitely a killer move. Even Lord Grimm would have to give it his all. Would Jun Xiaoyao be able to take it? Chapter 460. Every single one of those ancient freaks had extraordinary strength and had their own trump cards. Therefore, while it was possible to determine the winner among the ancient freaks, it was difficult to determine life and death. Even a corner dog would jump over a wall, let alone a talented ancient freak. Everyone had their own tricks up their sleeves. At this moment, the Prince of the Underworld had decided to use his trump card. He was very confident in this move. The Prince of the Underworld slowly bent his knees in front of Jun Xiaoyao, as if he was about to kneel. Everyone was dumbfounded. What is going on? The Prince of the Underworld actually knelt in front of Jun Xiaoyao? Even if he admitted defeat, he didn't have to go to this extent, did he? No, could it be that move? The ancient freak of the Ji clan, Ji Changkong, seemed to have thought of something taboo. His expression changed, and he quickly retreated with Ji Qing-yi. What's wrong? Ji Qing-yi was shocked by Ji Changkong's reaction. On the other side, the ancient freak of the Yi clan, Yi Nantian, was also shocked. He quickly retreated. The ancient freaks were obviously more knowledgeable than the current generation of geniuses. They had thought of a terrifying superpower. The Prince of the Underworld is a lunatic. He actually wants to use this superpower. Jiang Tianyan's expression was ugly. Brother Xiaoyao, be careful. Lord Grimm couldn't help but remind him. The Prince of the Underworld had used this move on him before. Even if he didn't use it fully, it was enough to threaten Lord Grimm. Interesting. I hope you don't disappoint me, the son of God. Jun Xiaoyao was not worried at all. Instead, he was curious. If the Prince of the Underworld really had the ability to defeat or injure him, Jun Xiaoyao would be happy. After all, it was really lonely to be invincible in the same generation. One-armed underworld king, Kowtow, the Prince of the Underworld knelt on one knee in front of Jun Xiaoyao. At the same time, behind him, an endless amount of underworld qi surged into the void. Finally, a giant figure appeared. That figure was like the overlord of hell, a supreme lord of the underworld, and every single move he made was capable of annihilating all living beings. Most shocking of all, that terrifying demonic silhouette only had a single arm. That's the ancient one-armed Hell King. Many prodigies felt as if their souls were about to leave their bodies. In ancient times, there were some powerful existences that had intimidated the nine heavens' immortal realm. For example, the true Lord Gulen of the Saints sect, and the one-armed Nether King. In ancient times, these experts were like gods that were worshipped by all. There were even rumors that these godlike powerhouses had not fallen, but were instead slumbering in the passage of time, waiting for an opportunity. Right now, the Prince of the Underworld, who possessed a trace of the Underworld King's bloodline, had finally used his trump card, the one-armed Underworld King's 3 kowtows. At that moment, although it was only a single kowtow, its frightening might had already caused the surroundings to tremble. The one-armed Pluto was a legendary expert in ancient times. It had always been others worshipping him, not him worshipping others. How many people in this world could withstand a bow from the one-armed Nether King? In other words, not many people in the same cultivation could withstand the attack from the Prince of the Underworld God. It's your honor to die from this attack. The Prince of the Underworld God's face turned even paler, yet he wore a cruel grin. Can't you do something new? Aren't you tired of saying the same thing every day? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flickered with astonishment when he sensed the power of the one-armed Underworld King's kowtow, but that was all he could do. Fist of the 6 Paths of Reincarnation. Jun Xiaoyao clenched his fist and threw a punch forward. The punch consisted of 6 different moves, as if it had turned into 6 different worlds of reincarnation. The Fist of the 6 Paths of Reincarnation was an outstanding fist art. It could be improved as Jun Xiaoyao's strength improved. It felt like the punch was going to destroy the heavens. The illusionary figure of the one-armed Underworld King was blasted into pieces by Jun Xiaoyao's punch. The prince of the underworld god's chest shuddered. He spat out a mouthful of blood with astonishment. He was surprised that Jun Xiaoyao was able to break his trump card with such ease. I don't believe it. The prince of the underworld god gritted his teeth and activated the dermic powers in his body again. The underworld chi surged. He performed the second move again. The one-armed underworld king's second kowtow. Behind him, the one-armed underworld king, who was tens of thousands of feet tall, kowtowed again. The second move was even more powerful than the first move. The underworld chi surged into the sky and swept in all directions. Some of the surrounding geniuses who did not dodge in time were instantly crushed and turned into a bloody pulp. Jun Xiaoyao threw a punch in the face of this move. Do you really think you can break all moves with a single punch? The prince of the underworld god said coldly. Jun Xiaoyao chuckled and stomped his foot. With a loud bang, the immortal light surged. Behind him, a terrifying figure appeared. It was like a supreme immortal king, suppressing the entire world. It was the vision of the sacred body of the ancients, the immortal king descending to the 9 heavens. The immortal king descending to the 9 heavens was an invincible dermic powers that multiplied the power of the move. Jun Xiaoyao threw a punch. The illusionary figure of the immortal king behind him threw a punch too. The power of the fist of the 6 paths of reincarnation instantly skyrocketed to a terrifying level. Bang! The 9 heavens immortal king threw a punch at the one-armed underworld king. The one-armed underworld king was nullified again. Puff! The prince of the underworld god spat out a mouthful of blood. His bones were shattered as he was sent flying. The whole place fell silent. Who would have thought that the ancient Tao God Realm freak, the trump card of the fallen god's palace, would be suppressed to such a miserable state by Jun Xiaoyao? Brother Xiaoyao's strength is simply, even Lord Grimm, who is used to seeing big storms and big waves, was somewhat startled. With Jun Xiaoyao's strength, if he was born in his era, he would not have the chance to become Sequence Zero. How is this possible? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The prince of the underworld god's face twisted like a demon. He could not accept this cruel reality. I haven't lost yet. The prince of the underworld god wore a ferocious expression. Next, he had the third move. Although the prince of the underworld god would not be able to withstand this move, he only wanted to kill Jun Xiaoyao now. One-armed underworld king. 3 kowtows. Blood burst out of the prince of the underworld god's body, as if he was sacrificing himself. The one-armed underworld king appeared behind him again. Underworld chi rolled like waves, drowning the entire mortal world. The entire ancient spiritual land seemed to have turned into a doomsday scene in an instant. The power of the one-armed underworld king's 3 kowtows was truly unleashed. The prince of the underworld god had not used this move even when he was facing Lord Grimm. And now, he was using it against Jun Xiaoyao. The one-armed underworld king kowtowed again as if he was going to drag the whole world into hell. Jun Xiaoyao stood in the air and felt the power of this move. It was as if it was going to crush him and the void around him into powder. This move is finally a little interesting. You are qualified to make me use that move. Jun Xiaoyao's black hair danced in the wind as he smiled faintly. His self-created Grand Tao of origin just happened to lack an opportunity to test its power. As for the other elites, they were not qualified to make Jun Xiaoyao use that move. Jun Xiaoyao reached out his hand, and the origin of God in his dantian vibrated slightly. The origin energy of the universe surged out and turned into origin divine chains. Then, in the void, they intertwined to form an eternal light. Genesis, Light of God. Chapter 461. This was the first time that Jun Xiaoyao had used the great path of origin that he had created in a real battle. When this light appeared, everyone's gazes were involuntarily attracted to it. The first feeling was beauty. The second feeling was danger. Extreme danger. Even some of the ancient freaks felt their hair stand on end, let alone the ordinary heaven's favorites. What kind of great path of origin is this? It's so terrifying. It seems to be able to annihilate everything. Endless gasps could be heard from all around. This was the first time that Jun Xiaoyao had used the great path of origin in front of everyone. As soon as he made his move, it shocked everyone. This light seemed to have cut through the darkness of doomsday, split the chaos, and divided the heavens and the earth. The divine light swept across, and the one-armed Lord of Hell's figure directly disappeared in the endless divine light. Smoke came out of it. Even the Prince of Hell was annihilated. His physical vitality was also wiped out by the divine light. His flesh and blood collapsed inch by inch and turned into ashes. Even his primordial spirit was turned into nothingness. The Prince of Hell didn't even have time to scream before he was annihilated in the divine light. The Prince of Hell had fallen. At this moment, everyone was dead silent. The enemies of the Jun family felt a chill run down their spines. They were not ordinary geniuses, nor were they ordinary ancient freaks. He was a powerful being in the Tao divinity realm. That one-armed Lord of Hell's 3 Caodaos was enough to kill 99% of the geniuses present. But now, the powerful Prince of Hell had been killed by Jun Xiaoyao with a single move. If the truth hadn't been right in front of their eyes, no one would have believed it. When Wang Tong saw this, he immediately took out a space-piercing talisman and tried to escape. Trying to escape? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were indifferent. At that moment, Jun Xiaoyao also caught a trace of ripple in another part of the void. That trace of fluctuation escaped in another direction. Jun Xiaoyao's face suddenly turned cold. Compared to external enemies, the mole was even more hateful. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care about Wang Tong. Instead, he took a step forward and extended his hand to grab the air in another direction. The void trembled as if it was about to be torn apart. A silhouette appeared. It was the cloaked man who worked under Wang Tong and plotted against the Jun family. Jun Xiaoyao reached out with one hand and grabbed the cloaked man. No matter how the cloaked man struggled, causing ripples in the void, he was unable to escape from Jun Xiaoyao's palm. "Let me go," a familiar voice sounded. His voice stunned the geniuses of the Jiang family nearby. That voice's Jiang Chuan was in disbelief. Jun Xiaoyao smiled coldly and used a wisp of magic power to shatter the cloaked man's cloak. A handsome man in luxurious clothes revealed his true appearance. It was Hua Yuanxiu. Hua Yuanxiu, it's you. The elites of the Jiang family were in disbelief at first, then they were enraged. They weren't stupid. After connecting the dots, they immediately understood. It turned out that Hua Yuanxiu had always been a member of the Wang family. Not only did you plot against the Jun family this time, but you must have also secretly revealed my grandfather Jiang Daoxiu's health condition to the Wang family. Otherwise, how could the Wang family be so coincidental to propose marriage at that time and even bring the 9 Wonders reincarnation immortal grass? Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. He had already expected this, but he didn't have any substantial evidence. Besides, he had other things to do, so he didn't do anything for now. However, it didn't mean that Jun Xiaoyao would let Hua Yuanxiu go. Hua Yuanxiu's face turned red after being caught red-handed in public. He couldn't say anything to refute. "Hua Yuanxiu, you really make me feel disgusted." Jiang Chuan frowned and felt nauseous. She felt even more disgusted at the thought of her almost marrying Hua Yuanxiu. Fortunately, she hadn't let Hua Yuanxiu lay a finger on her, and Jun Xiaoyao had exposed her in public. "Damn it, Jun Xiaoyao, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been forced to do this," Hua Yuanxiu said with a ferocious expression. "Don't complain to me. Trash is trash. Death is your only choice." Jun Xiaoyao didn't want to say anything to this ant. He shook his arm, and his dermic power surged. Hua Yuanxiu's entire body exploded, along with his primordial spirit. Even the Prince of the Underworld was no match for Jun Xiaoyao. Hua Yuanxiu, who had the Void Emperor physique, couldn't resist at all. However, Jun Xiaoyao didn't have time to chase after Wang Tong because he wanted to expose Hua Yuanxiu's murder. But it didn't matter. Wang Tong was similar to Long Outyin. They were both extremely proud people. He wasn't afraid that they wouldn't take the initiative to come to him. "All right, and you. Jun Xiaoyao locked onto another figure. It was Gu Chanzi of the Celestial Cicada clan. It could be said that Gu Chanzi was the absolute core of this Kingslayer plan. Although his cultivation wasn't the best, he was the most useful. The Celestial Cicada clan, with few members. Unfortunately, you provoked the Jun family. You can't escape destruction. Jun Xiaoyao casually pointed at Gu Chanzi. Gu Chanzi's expression also changed, and he couldn't resist. So you are the biggest tribulation. Gu Chanzi stared at Jun Xiaoyao. For some reason, he felt that Jun Xiaoyao wasn't just a tribulation this time. He was also a terrifying tribulation for the 9 heavens and 10 earths and the 10,000 ancient races. The glory of the Archean royalty would probably end completely in Jun Xiaoyao's hands. In the end, Gu Chanzi used his own life to see a corner of the future. That corner was very dark for the Archean royalty. A figure with his back to all living beings suppressed the 10,000 ancient races. Unfortunately, Gu Chanzi could no longer tell this prophecy. Who's next? Jun Xiaoyao's gaze landed on Ao Guang of the dragon human race again. Ao Guang's expression also changed. He wanted to retreat earlier, but he was entangled by Princess Longji and couldn't escape at all. At this moment, being noticed by Jun Xiaoyao was like being targeted by an ancient ferocious beast. Didn't you say that when you came out of seclusion, I would definitely die? What about now? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were cold and playful. At this moment, Ao Guang only felt a chill all over his body. As a high and mighty young king of a mortal ancient, he lost all his elegance in front of Jun Xiaoyao. How did this person become so strong all of a sudden? Ao Guang racked his brains, but couldn't understand. When Jun Xiaoyao fought with his shadow previously, he was only at the true god realm. Now, he was so strong that just a look was enough to make him tremble. Jun Xiaoyao didn't waste any more words and attacked again. Ao Guang's strength was indeed not weak, but in front of Jun Xiaoyao, whose strength had skyrocketed, he was still as weak as an ant. Even when Ao Guang transformed into the radiant holy dragon in the end, he was still beheaded by Jun Xiaoyao's immortal slaying sword art. The young king of a mortal ancient had also fallen. At this moment, all sides were terrified. Jun Xiaoyao casually killed the enemy with a flick of his finger. It was like the Grim Reaper of Hell, choosing a sacrifice for death. The son of God of the Jun family is going crazy. Some of the geniuses who were watching the battle outside sighed. Chapter 462. Who would have thought that this siege against the Jun family would end up as their own grave? No one there was able to stop Jun Xiaoyao's murderous aura. After Jun Xiaoyao killed Ao Guang, Princess Longji got her wish and cut Ao Luan into pieces. Not just a phrase, but a real cut to pieces. After getting her revenge, Princess Longji's anger dissipated, and her thoughts became clear. She looked at Jun Xiaoyao with a complicated look in her eyes. If Jun Xiaoyao hadn't killed Ao Guang directly, perhaps Ao Guang would have had a chance to escape with Ao Luan. It would have been difficult for her to get her revenge. Thank you, Master. Princess Longji's tone was a little unnatural, and her voice was as soft as a mosquito's. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes dimmed, and he nodded lightly. Princess Longji didn't know that this was all set up by Jun Xiaoyao from the beginning. Whether it was by Mei or Ao Luan, they were just tools. But it didn't matter. With Ao Luan's death, Bai Mei was dead set on Jun Xiaoyao. Princess Longji would never know this secret. Jun Xiaoyao looked around again. He couldn't be bothered to attack them one by one. He directly activated the divine elephant overpowering force and summoned the gates of hell. Jun Xiaoyao had already cultivated 100,000 elemental granules. So this time, the gates of hell were completely open. All kinds of terrifying asuras, demons, and rakshasas appeared one after another. It was as if hell had returned to the mortal world. All the geniuses who were enemies of the Jun family fell into unparalleled fear and despair. Death was just a matter of a moment earlier or later. The other 2 young kings of a mortal ancient, Little Witch God and Heavenly Eye Saint, also let out angry roars and resisted with all their might. Heavenly Eye Saint killed one of the Jun family's echelon sequence. The ancient witch tribe and Jun Xiaoyao also had conflicts. Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't show mercy to these two tribes. In the end, these two young kings of a mortal ancient could only die in grief and indignation. They couldn't resist Jun Xiaoyao at all. Of immortal ancients, 4 great young kings, only Li Qiushui remained. When Li Qiushui saw this scene, she also felt a little emotional. She was glad that she was on good terms with Jiang Xingyi and had chosen the right side. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to escape either. Apart from the immortal ancient clans, there was also the Archean royalty, but they were similarly wiped out. In the end, the Qilin child was killed by Jun Lingsong's polychoria. Zulong's Long Biqi was also powerless to resist. In fact, when Long Aoyin fled in a panic, Long Biqi's Taoist heart had completely collapsed. Even until her death, she couldn't get rid of Jun Xiaoyao's shadow. The other prodigies of the Archean royalty had also died in the encirclement of the creatures from the gates of hell. The saint son of the saint sect was also killed directly. There was no chance for him to survive. Apart from Wang Tung, who had escaped, the other prodigies of the Wang family in the northern region had also all died. The prodigies of the fallen god palace were also wiped out. As for the Archean royalty, they were just a bunch of cannon fodder. They were torn apart by the creatures from the gates of hell. Only Bai Mei was safe and sound. In addition, Yin Rumeng of the demon god palace was also as pale as a sheet of paper. Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Yin Rumeng. Yin Rumeng's delicate body trembled. She felt as if her soul had been frozen. Jun Xiaoyao withdrew his gaze and didn't make a move. Firstly, Yin Rumeng was sensible enough not to get involved in the battle of the Kingslayers. Secondly, there was another force and will in Yin Rumeng's body. Jun Xiaoyao was also curious about what the one from the demon god palace was up to. Jun Xiaoyao didn't mind playing with that one. After the massacre, the entire Xintian mountain range quieted down. As far as the eye could see, the entire Xintian mountain range was riddled with holes. It had turned into a basin. The ground was crisscrossed with cracks. The ground was covered in blood and corpses. This battle was a total annihilation. Except for Wang Tung and Long Aoyin, the rest of the creatures had all died. The scene was very bloody and shocking. The son of God of the Jun family turned the situation around by himself. Some of the prodigies who were watching the battle murmured absent-mindedly. Originally, the Battle of the Kingslayers was extremely unfavorable for the Jun family. Even with the help of the Jiang family and other forces, they might still be defeated. But this battle was completely turned around because of Jun Xiaoyao's intervention. To put it bluntly, even if Jun Xiaoyao was the only one from the Jun family, the Kingslayers probably wouldn't have been able to do anything to him. Jun Xiaoyao alone was enough to set the world in stone. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao stood in the air with his hands behind his back. Beneath his feet were countless corpses and skeletons. Jun Xiaoyao alone was enough to make everyone bow their heads and submit to him. Jun Xiaoyao looked around. None of the spectating prodigies dared to look at Jun Xiaoyao. Even ancient freaks like Ji Changkong and Yi Nantian couldn't help but look away. They didn't dare to look at Jun Xiaoyao. It was as if Jun Xiaoyao was the only king in the world. After looking around, Jun Xiaoyao said with a supreme tone, "In the entire world, only the Jun family can claim the throne. No one can bear the anger of the Jun family." These two sentences made the world go silent. The sequences of the Jun family felt their blood boiling. It was as if every drop of blood was burning. In the entire world, only the Jun family can claim the throne. How bold and bold was this? How many people dare to speak like this? However, Jun Xiaoyao dared to do so. I, Jun Lingsong, will follow the Son of God forever and protect the immortal name of the Jun family. Jun Lingsong bowed respectfully. I, Jun Wushuang, will follow the Son of God forever and let the Jun family conquer the 9 heavens. Jun Wushuang also bowed respectfully. Sequences such as Jun Milan, Jun Wanjia, Jun Xuahuang, Jun Xiu, and Jun Zhangjian also showed a fanatical look and bowed respectfully. Haha, each new generation excels the previous one. I, Lord Grimm, am willing to follow the Son of God and sweep through the Emperor Road and spread the name of the June family." Lord Grim laughed heartily. The June family had produced a true dragon. Even an old man like him couldn't help but admire them. The prestige of the June family had greatly increased because of Jun Xiaoyao. It was not hard to imagine that the prestige of the June family would skyrocket if this matter was spread out. In the era of great battles, there are many monsters. It's just that, isn't this too much? Ji Chongkong sighed and felt a faint sense of powerlessness in his heart. It wasn't easy to endure until the era of great battles, where there was a chance to prove one's Tao. In the end, a terrifying anomaly like Jun Xiaoyao appeared. This person will definitely monopolize half of the prosperity of this era of great battles. Sigh. Yi Nantian, the ancient freak of the Yi family, also sighed deeply. In this era, who could compete with the Son of God of the Jun family? Apart from the geniuses on the Jun family's side, the geniuses and ancient freaks of the other forces felt a little powerless. Jun Xiaoyao was like a mountain that pressed down on the heads of all the geniuses. As long as Jun Xiaoyao didn't die, all the geniuses in this era would only be qualified to fight for second place. However, Jun Xiaoyao himself looked indifferent. He didn't think that what he had done was that great. Rather, it was something that couldn't be more normal. It's finally over, but it's not over yet. Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. He seemed to have a premonition that a bigger storm was still to come. The Immortal War, huh? My Jun family has never been afraid of it. Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back. His eyes seemed to have looked outside the immortal ancient world and saw the anger of the hostile forces. Chapter 463. Outside the immortal ancient world, beside the immortal ancient mirror. At this moment, the atmosphere seemed to be frozen and dead silent. Not a single sound was made. Those hostile forces of the Jun family, the Archean royalty, the fallen god palace, the Wang family of the north, the sacred sect, and other forces all looked extremely ugly. It was as if they had eaten a dead fly. How could this be? An elder in the Zulong shouted, unable to accept this. Damn it! An elder in the Wanwang spiritual mountain shouted in grief and anger. Qilin's son. In the ancient Qilin cave, a middle-aged man in a purple robe roared in anger. He was the father of the Qilin's son, and also the cave master of the ancient Qilin cave. Dead, all dead. A group of black-robed people in the fallen god palace said in despair. The fallen son of God was dead. The dark son of God was dead. The Prince Ming Shun, who they regarded as their trump card, was also dead. The geniuses of the fallen god palace were almost all killed. The Prince Ming Shun is dead. I wonder if that bloodline will be angry? An elite from the fallen god palace whispered. That bloodline was the bloodline left behind by the one-armed Lord Ming. Strictly speaking, the Prince Ming Shun was also related to that bloodline. There was no doubt now. Not only had the Kingslayer plan failed completely, these geniuses who participated in the plan were almost all killed. Even if Wang, Tung, and Long Outyin were lucky to escape, no one would think that they could pose any threat to Jun Xiaoyao after seeing Jun Xiaoyao's powerful strength. In short, the entire immortal ancient world was Jun Xiaoyao's world. Those elites of the immortal ancient races couldn't leave their ancestral land. Jun Xiaoyao was the strongest in the immortal ancient world. How could this be? My son has the bearing of a great emperor. Wang Yuanba, the head of the Wang family, was a little confused. Wang Tung's reputation could be said to be partly because of his father, Wang Yuanba. But now the boast was exposed. Compared to Jun Xiaoyao, Wang Tung had no bearing of a great emperor. Some people looked at Wang Yuanba with a strange look in their eyes. Even if Wang Tung came out alive, he probably wouldn't have the face to appear in front of the world. Wang Yuanba. We'll deal with Hua Yuanxiu later. An elder of the Jiang family snorted. They would not let the matter of Hua Yuanxiu go. Compared to the miserable state of the Archean royalty and the other forces, the elders of the Jun family all had smiles on their faces. One could say that Jun Xiaoyao had given them a huge surprise. My grandson is the one who truly has the bearing of a great emperor. Jun Zhantian grinned from ear to ear. feeling extremely carefree. The Jun family's reputation had indeed been damaged before. But now, Jun Xiaoyao had single-handedly turned the tide and saved the building from collapse. Not only did this restore the Jun family's reputation, but it also made the Jun family's prestige soar. Things won't end like this. The experts of the Archean royalty, Northland Wang family, Fallen God Palace, and other forces secretly exchanged glances. Vaguely, it was as if an even greater storm was brewing. Ancient spiritual land, mysterious Heaven Mountain Range. Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back. He also knew that this incident was just a fuse that could lead to an immortal war. However, this was not something Jun Xiaoyao needed to worry about at the moment. With a huge primordial Jun family behind him, Jun Xiaoyao did not need to be afraid of any threats. Let's go. Seeing that the incident had ended, the surrounding sky prides dispersed one by one. This time, they had witnessed a true legend. My next goal is to cultivate, and cultivate, Yi Nantian muttered to himself. In front of Jun Xiaoyao, ancient freaks like them were just ordinary people. If they did not work hard, they would probably become passers-by in the Emperor Road. To think that there's such a monster in this generation. The Emperor Road is really interesting, but I won't sink just like that, Ji Chongkong whispered. Most of the ancient freaks had a good temperament. Although Jun Xiaoyao was so strong that it made people despair, the others were still qualified to work hard, right? However, Ji Chongkong would never have thought. If working hard was useful, what was the point of having geniuses? Ji Qingyi let out a sigh too. She could feel a hint of regret in her heart. However, she still shook her head. The Emperor Road is unprecedentedly intense. It's the highest stage for the geniuses of the Nine Heavens, immortal realm. Son of the ancient emperor, successor of the martial monarch, young master of the forbidden area, Jun Xiaoyao, how long can you be unbeatable? Ji Qingyi murmured in her heart. She really wanted to know just how far Jun Xiaoyao would be able to go. Would he still be unbeatable in the Emperor Road? As the crowd left, those who remained were all on Jun Xiaoyao's side. Xiaoyao, Jiang Xingyi's hair was like a waterfall. Her face was crystal clear, and her eyes were filled with longing and longing. Jun Xiaoyao was buried because of her, and it was only now that she was able to see the person she missed so dearly. As soon as Jiang Xingyi took a step forward, Linglong impatiently went up to Jun Xiaoyao. She habitually clung onto Jun Xiaoyao like an octopus. Brother Xiaoyao, I've missed you so much. Jiang Luoli was the only one who could cling onto Jun Xiaoyao like that. It's been a while. Why haven't you grown any taller? Jun Xiaoyao raised his brows. Jun Xiaoyao, who was previously killing everyone, was imperious and cold like a deity. However, Jun Xiaoyao had now returned to his gentle demeanor, as if he had turned into a gentle immortal. Looking at Jiang Luoli, who was hanging leisurely on Jun Xiaoyao, many of the women present revealed looks of envy. After all, not everyone had the right to be so intimate with Jun Xiaoyao. A trace of undetectable bitterness flashed across Jiang Xingyi's eyes when she saw this scene. However, she still wore a smile on her face. Jiang Luoli wrinkled her nose when she heard Jun Xiaoyao poke at her weakness. She ground her small canine teeth and said, Brother Xiaoyao, why are you poking at my sore spot? I'm already trying my best to develop. Jun Xiaoyao was speechless when he saw Jiang Luoli's ordinary chest. Was she really a legal lowly? All right, come down. There's so many people watching. How improper. Jun Xiaoyao said. Jiang Luoli blushed as well. She reluctantly loosened her arms and legs, but she still stuck to Jun Xiaoyao's side, leaning on him like a little bird. Seeing this, some of the women present, such as Yin Qingying, Wu Mingwei, Su Ziqiang, Jun Xuewang, Hua Shiqing, Bai Mei and the others, all felt envy in their hearts. There was also a tinge of jealousy that spread through their hearts. This atmosphere, why does it seem a bit strange? Jun Zhanjian was a bit startled. Ayaya, is there a need to publicly declare your sovereignty like this? Little brother, Xiaoyao hasn't even married you yet. Xiao Maxian jumped out, clicking her tongue. She and Jiang Luoli had been bickering since they were in the lower realms. These two Lolas seemed to dislike each other. What does that have to do with you? Big brother Xiaoyao is mine. Jiang Luoli arched her eyebrows. She was Jiang Ro's daughter-in-law. Isn't it still too early? Princess Royal Wu Mingwei of the Jin dynasty smiled faintly. Xiqing thinks that an outstanding man like Son of God shouldn't only have one woman. Hua Xiqing also said with a smile. Seeing this group of women bickering over Jun Xiaoyao, the other men were speechless. Brother Xiaoyao, can your kidneys take it? Lord Grimm walked to Jun Xiaoyao's side and teased him. Lord Grimm was cold and heartless to his enemies, but he was very humorous to his family. The kidneys of the sacred body of the ancients. What do you think? Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows. But to be honest, he was the worst at dealing with this kind of situation. Suddenly, Jun Xiaoyao noticed Jiang Shengyi from the corner of his eye. She had been standing to the side. Because of Jiang Luoli, she didn't walk to Jun Xiaoyao's side. She silently watched the women bicker, but she didn't say a word. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed slightly. Then, he walked up to Jiang Shengyi. Chapter 464. Sister Shengyi, it's been a long time, Jun Xiaoyao said with a handsome smile. Ah, that's right, Xiaoyao. As expected, you always bring unexpected surprises. Jiang Shengyi was slightly surprised at first. She didn't expect Jun Xiaoyao to take the initiative to walk up to her. She was happy. Of course, she didn't show it too obviously. Jun Xiaoyao naturally wouldn't forget how Jiang Shengyi treated him warmly before he went to the eternal burial ground. She even gave him a neat pillow. If Jiang Luoli was said to be a cute lowly, Jiang Shengyi was a mature and gentle big sister next door. She wasn't like Jiang Luoli, who relied on Jun Xiaoyao. Instead, she would support and help Jun Xiaoyao when he needed it. For example, in the secret treasure of Yuan Tian, if not for the help of Jiang Shengyi's Khanate Dao embryo, Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't have been able to solve the crisis and fight against the supreme demon corpse. This should be suitable for Sister Shengyi's Khanate Dao embryo. Jun Xiaoyao took out a bone jade slip from his spatial Dharma artifact. It was the Dao enlightenment of Chaos Dao Master that he had obtained at the immortal ancient Dao Lake. This enlightenment wasn't very useful to Jun Xiaoyao, but it was very useful to Jiang Shengyi, who had a Khanate Dao embryo. Jiang Shengyi couldn't hide her joy as she felt the Dao aura emitted by the bone jade slip. But she still said, Xiaoyao, this thing is too precious. It should be useful to you, right? The first person Jiang Shengyi thought of wasn't herself, but Jun Xiaoyao. Don't mention it. It's not very useful to me. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Jiang Shengyi took it and checked it a little. She was pleasantly surprised. It's the enlightenment of Chaos Dao Master. Even Jiang Shengyi couldn't help but exclaim. This was the comprehension of the Chaos Dao Sovereign, who was at the top of the 7 sovereign realms. Previously, when Wang Teng wanted to woo her, he had even taken out the great celestial venerate's insights. He thought that it was something precious and amazing. But compared to the Chaos Holy Man's comprehension, it was nothing. Wang Teng looked as though he was taking out a peerless treasure. On the other hand, Jun Xiaoyao took out the insights of the Chaos Holy Man as if it were a small gift. Comparing the breadth of mind between the two, there was a clear gap. Jiang Shengyi's heart was filled with sweetness, and her immortal face seemed to be covered in a layer of radiance. At this moment, a somewhat sour voice sounded. What about me? Jiang Luoli stood between Jiang Shengyi and Jun Xiaoyao, looking at Jun Xiaoyao pitifully. A world-famous painting was born. Of course you have one too. Jun Xiaoyao took out a piece of divine spiritual wood. I knew Big Brother Xiaoyao was the best. Jiang Luoli happily said. You all have one too. Jun Xiaoyao looked at the various sequences, as well as the Jiang family that had helped the Jun family, as well as the other influences. Jun Xiaoyao had obtained many treasures at the immortal ancient Dao lakes. At this time, he wasn't stingy and shared a portion of them. Since these influences were willing to stand by the Jun family and help them, Jun Xiaoyao naturally wouldn't be stingy. Moreover, this was also a method to win over the hearts of others. I have one too. Xiao Maxian placed her hands behind her back, giggling as she leaned forward. I have to thank you this time as well, Jun Xiaoyao said. At the same time, he took out a rare treasure and gave it to Xiao Maxian. No matter how great of a role Xiao Maxian had played in this war, at least she was willing to help. This represented many things. Thank you, little big brother Xiaoyao. I wanted to test your strengths and weaknesses before, but now it seems that I was overestimating myself. Little big brother Xiaoyao is big and tall. Xiao Maxian said, her words like a tiger. It's good that you know. Don't try to figure out a man's strengths and weaknesses, and especially don't try to figure out mine, because I have no limits. Jun Xiaoyao indifferently said, I know. I won't dare to. Xiao Maxian pouted. Xiao Maxian, who was originally a bit perverted, had finally met her match. Looking at those high and lofty fairies of the great sex, the princesses of the Jin dynasty, the Holy Land Saintesses, all of them trying to speak to Jun Xiaoyao. All of the men present couldn't help but reveal a trace of envy. If only I had even a 10,000th of Lord Son of God's charm. Lei Mingyuan said, his heart filled with envy. That's right, Xiaoyao, this is the young king of the beauty race, Li Qiushui. She also played a great role this time, Jiang Xingyi said. Li Qiushui stepped forwards, her limpid eyes filled with awe. She bowed towards Jun Xiaoyao. Seeing is believing. Jun family son of God, you truly live up to your reputation. Qiushui is filled with admiration. Li Qiushui respectfully said, although she was one of the 4 young kings of Immortal Ancient, when she faced Jun Xiaoyao, her attitude was extremely humble. She didn't dare to show the slightest bit of disrespect. It seems that the races of Immortal Ancient aren't all brainless individuals. I must thank you this time as well, Jun Xiaoyao said. That was because Ao Guang and the others had eyes but couldn't see. They dared to provoke the Son of God. They were simply seeking their own deaths. Li Qiushui laughed. All right, just tell me what you want. In Immortal Ancient, there shouldn't be anything that this Son of God can't do, Jun Xiaoyao said. He could tell that Li Qiushui had something she wanted. However, it didn't matter. Jun Xiaoyao liked smart people. Li Qiushui had chosen the right side, so there would naturally be a reward. It's like this, Li Qiushui said. She also told Jun Xiaoyao about the heaven-forbidden lands and the Immortal Ancient Order. I see. Entering the heaven-forbidden lands and using the Immortal Ancient Order to seek freedom? No problem. I'll make a trip there later, Jun Xiaoyao said. The core of the Immortal Ancient World was the ancient spiritual earth, and the core of the ancient spiritual earth was the heaven-forbidden lands. That was an extremely mysterious place. Jun Xiaoyao was also somewhat interested. Qiushui thanks the Son of God for helping me. Li Qiushui's eyes were also filled with surprise. She finally understood why Jun Xiaoyao was so attractive. Not only was he handsome, but his strength was also top-notch. He didn't care about his identity and treated the people on her side with great care. He was gentle and elegant. Which woman wouldn't fall in love with such a man? If she didn't know about Jiang Xingyi's feelings, Li Qiushui would probably be tempted. All right, everyone is more or less injured. Just rest for a while, Jun Xiaoyao said. Now, the Immortal Ancient World was no longer a threat to Jun Xiaoyao. No one dared to compete with the Jun family for the opportunity, so there was no need to rush. After recovering from their injuries, they could slowly search for the opportunity. Yes, everyone present nodded. Jun Xiaoyao was the absolute core. His words were also the absolute command. In the following period of time, the more seriously injured Lord Grimm, Jun Wushuang, Jun Mulan, and the others also began to rest. The spoils of war they obtained were also extremely plentiful. For example, the supreme weapon left by the Underworld Prince, the Underworld King's Claw, Jun Xiaoyao gave it to Yin Qingying. Jun Xiaoyao also gave the rest of the treasures and divine weapons to the others. In the Immortal Ancient World, I am completely invincible. What I need to do next is just to get rid of those 2 ants. Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. Those 2 ants were naturally Wang Tung and Long Outyin. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was thinking about it, a voice suddenly rang out. He suddenly felt some kind of fluctuation. Jun Xiaoyao opened a spatial device and saw something trembling slightly. Is this the bronze compass? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes lit up. Did this mean that one of the legendary 7 incredible things, the Bronze Immortal Palace, was about to appear? Chapter 465. Jun Xiaoyao couldn't forget about the Bronze Immortal Palace. After all, he still had the opportunity to sign in at the Bronze Immortal Palace. Jun Xiaoyao was also very curious about what kind of treasures he could get from signing in such a dangerous place like the Bronze Immortal Palace. However, as one of the 7 incredible places, the danger of the Bronze Immortal Palace was obviously self-evident. Although Jun Xiaoyao had an invincible Dao heart, he wasn't a reckless person. If the Bronze Immortal Palace really appeared, Jun Xiaoyao still had to consider it. However, he didn't have any fear, only curiosity. Jun Xiaoyao didn't tell anyone about this for the time being, because sooner or later, everyone would know. The only suspense was when the Bronze Immortal Palace would appear. However, Jun Xiaoyao had the bronze compass. If the Bronze Immortal Palace really appeared, he would definitely be able to sense it immediately. Jun Xiaoyao also had a hunch that after the Bronze Immortal Palace appeared, the entire immortal ancient world would be about to close. However, the immortal ancient world was just the prelude. The real highlight was still the Emperor Road. Jun Xiaoyao now had the upper hand and could be considered invincible in the immortal ancient world. Jun Xiaoyao was also confident that he would still be invincible in the Emperor Road. Next, half a month passed. Lord Grimm and the others' injuries recovered very quickly. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, did not stay idle during this time. He began to comprehend the 2nd volume of the Body Book. There was no doubt that the Body Book was helpful to Jun Xiaoyao. Not only did it push his physical body to the extreme, but it also helped him cultivate a body immortal qi in advance. Therefore, Jun Xiaoyao was also very curious about what surprises the 2nd volume of the Body Book would bring him. Even if an ordinary person obtained the 9 great heavenly books, it would take a long time for them to comprehend it. For example, Long Aoyan had obtained half of the Space Book, but he was still only at the entry level. However, Jun Xiaoyao was different. His perception was so strong that he could create his own exceptional mystical ability. Thus, it would only take him a little more effort and time to comprehend the Body Book. After comprehending it for a while, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes revealed a wisp of surprise, and he sighed. This was because the cultivation method of the 2nd volume of the Physique Scripture had left him in awe. There were trillions of cells in the human body. The cultivation method of the 2nd volume of the Physique Scripture was to cultivate the cells and condense them into the 3,000 Sumeru worlds. Every time Jun Xiaoyao cultivated a Sumeru world, he would possess the power of a world. If the 3,000 Sumeru worlds were formed, the power of the 3,000 Sumeru worlds would erupt with a single movement. At that time, even if it was a continent in the lower realm, it would probably be shattered by Jun Xiaoyao's punch. Not only that, but the 3,000 Sumeru worlds was also a supreme defensive technique. If the enemy's attack landed on Jun Xiaoyao, it would be weakened by the 3,000 Sumeru worlds. The power of the attack would have to be strong enough to break through the 3,000 Sumeru worlds before it could truly hurt Jun Xiaoyao. However, how many people were strong enough to break through the 3,000 Sumeru worlds with a single move? Just thinking about it made one feel incredulous. This is too strong. In terms of attack, the power of the 3,000 Sumeru worlds would erupt with a single movement. In terms of defense, the enemy would also have to break through the 3,000 Sumeru worlds before they could hurt him. Even with Jun Xiaoyao's harsh judgment, he could only sigh at this moment. Even in the Jun family, there was no such terrifying and powerful cultivation method of the physical body. More importantly, cultivating to the 3,000 Sumeru worlds was only the great accomplishment. After the great accomplishment, there was still the perfection. At that time, every cell in Jun Xiaoyao's body would be a Sumeru world. At that state, Jun Xiaoyao's physical body would no longer be a simple body of flesh and blood. It would be like a body that contained the endless universe. Jun Xiaoyao even felt that if he reached that perfect state, it would be almost impossible for even a real immortal to destroy his physical body, let alone a great emperor. Too strong. This was the only thought in Jun Xiaoyao's mind, putting the perfection stage aside for now. Even if it was the great accomplishment stage and the 3,000 summer worlds formed, it would be enough to sweep through everything. The immortal Duo, immortal body, cultivates the bones, while the 3,000 summer worlds cultivates the cells, flesh, and blood. If I completely cultivate it and combine it, my physical body will be unparalleled and indestructible throughout history. Jun Xiaoyao was overwhelmed with emotions. The 9 great heavenly tomes represented the 9 extreme paths. Now it seemed that the 9 great heavenly tomes lived up to their reputation. It was no wonder that so many people were scrambling for the 9 great heavenly tomes. Of course, this cultivation method sounded very powerful, but it was not that simple to cultivate it successfully. Cultivating a Sumeru world in one's body was very difficult. It would not be that simple. The resources that would be consumed were also unimaginable. Even the supreme grade immortal source, the origin of the Tao, and other top cultivation resources would not be able to completely cultivate a Sumeru world. The resources needed were much more than refining the immortal bone of the great heavenly immortal. It might require a huge amount of supreme grade immortal source and origin of the Tao to cultivate a Sumeru world. However, there were also other rare treasures that could speed up the process. For example, the legendary chaotic qi, the blood of a remnant immortal, the Xianhuang Mother Qi, the origin of the sacred spirit, and so on. Of course, these were all rare and precious treasures. Their value was far beyond that of immortal source and origin of the Tao. Some ordinary geniuses might not even see any of these treasures in their entire lives. Jun Xiaoyao did not feel too much pressure. At this time, the benefits of being born in a top clan of the ancients were reflected. The Jun family also had some of these rare treasures. Although there were not many of them, it was enough for Jun Xiaoyao to start cultivating. After comprehending the second half of the body scripture, Jun Xiaoyao was not in a hurry to cultivate. He still had things to do. Next, when the others have recovered from their injuries, I will enter the heaven-forbidden ruins and help Li Qiushui find the immortal ancient token. At the same time, I will look for some opportunities. Then, I can quietly wait for the bronze immortal palace to appear. Jun Xiaoyao thought about his next plan. Not long after, everyone's injuries were more or less healed. After everyone had rested, Jun Xiaoyao led everyone directly to the heaven-forbidden ruins in the depths of the ancient spiritual land. Compared to the opportunities in the ancient spiritual land, the heaven-forbidden ruins obviously had more opportunities. Of course, it was also more dangerous. All kinds of archaic descendants and pure-blooded creatures roamed freely in the heaven-forbidden ruins. Ordinary ancient freaks did not dare to casually enter, as they might encounter great danger. However, the geniuses of the Jun family, Jiang family, and other forces did not mind at all. Their faces were relaxed. With Jun Xiaoyao around, even if they wanted to be in danger, it would be difficult. Li Qiushui did not enter. The creatures of the immortal ancient could not enter the heaven-forbidden ruins. Then I will have to trouble you, young Master Jun. Li Qiushui's beautiful eyes were filled with anticipation. They had been trapped in the immortal ancient world for too long. Like birds in a cage, they longed for freedom too much. Don't worry. I, the son of God, am a man of my word, Jun Xiaoyao said. Finding the immortal ancient token was just a matter of convenience. Leisurely literature, let the soul travel. Chapter 466. Jun Xiaoyao and the others entered the heaven taboo ruins. As far as the eye could see, the mountains and rivers were ancient and filled with a desolate aura. Jun Xiaoyao sensed that the bronze compass in the spatial artifact seemed to be trembling more and more violently. Could it be? Jun Xiaoyao came to a realization. Then they began to explore the heaven taboo ruins. Not long after, they encountered a terrifying primordial remnant whose strength had reached the Tao God realm. It was a strange snake with one head and two bodies. It spat out raging fire that was enough to burn an ordinary heavenly God realm expert to ashes. Some heavenly God realm ancient freaks might be difficult to deal with. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, simply threw a slap at him. Runes of the Great Path intertwined and turned him into minced meat. Simple, straightforward, and fierce. The surrounding people swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and then their eyes revealed excitement. If they followed Jun Xiaoyao, they could really do whatever they wanted. Soon, the crowd discovered a land of opportunity, and people began to explore it. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, was not all that interested. Now, his mind was full of the Bronze Immortal Palace. Compared to the Bronze Immortal Palace, the other opportunities were nothing. Next, the group continued to travel and found many opportunities. However, the atmosphere was very harmonious. There was no fighting, and everyone could gain something. Jun Xiaoyao did not go looking for any treasures. To him at the moment, only some rare treasures of the world or items of the ages would be able to catch his attention. It didn't take long for Jun Xiaoyao to find a cave. There was a pure-blooded creature, the Dark Knight Golden Bat. The strength of this pure-blooded creature, even in the Tao God realm, was extremely strong. Jun Xiaoyao attacked, activating a trace of the power of the immortal Daluo immortal body, and killed it cleanly. Then, in the cave, Jun Xiaoyao found a jade token. This token was incomparably warm, and there seemed to be a faint wisp of soul power hidden in it, like a wisp of consciousness. Is this the immortal ancient token? Jun Xiaoyao sized it up. This immortal ancient medallion contained a wisp of soul energy fluctuations, as if it contained some kind of will. The entire immortal ancient world is a cage, Jun Xiaoyao murmured to himself. As for the immortal ancient medallion. After that, Jun Xiaoyao killed a few more vicious beasts and found a few immortal ancient badges. He handed these immortal ancient tokens to Jiang Xingyi. Sister Xingyi, you can give these immortal ancient badges to Li Qiushui later, Jun Xiaoyao said. Understood. Jiang Xingyi accepted the immortal ancient order. After that, everyone continued to search for opportunities. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, was not very interested. About half a month later, suddenly, one day, the entire immortal ancient world seemed to tremble slightly. The spiritual chi between heaven and earth seemed to have been disturbed. The entire ancient spiritual land buzzed and trembled. The entire firmament was shaking. What's going on? Could it be that the immortal ancient world is about to close? Many geniuses around the ancient spiritual land raised their heads and glanced upward. Following this, they witnessed an unforgettable sight. An incomparably huge and majestic bronze palace appeared in the void. It was like an immemorial divine mountain that stretched across the heavens. The geniuses stared with their eyes open wide. They almost held their breaths. The magnificent bronze palace was extremely ancient, with a desolate aura. Its surface was covered in a greenish copper color, with patches of rust, as if it had been washed and baptized by time. It was like the reflection of the ancient times had appeared in the present world. That's one of the 7 wonders, the Bronze Immortal Palace. It actually appeared in the ancient spiritual land. Many geniuses blurted out in astonishment. The 7 wonders were the 7 legends of the 9 heavens immortal realm. Even though not everyone had seen them before, most of them had heard of them. At this moment, the bronze mountain-like palace in the sky looked exactly the same as the legendary Bronze Immortal Palace. The Bronze Immortal Palace. Rumors say it's related to immortals. It's a great fortunate encounter. It's a great fortunate encounter. You have to be alive to claim the fortunate encounter. Many experts have entered the Bronze Immortal Palace, but they never came out. I don't dare to go any closer. The appearance of the Bronze Immortal Palace had pushed the atmosphere of the immortal ancient world to its climax. Somewhere in the ancient spiritual land. Damn it, what should I do now? Am I, Long Out Yin, going to be suppressed by that Jun Xiaoyao forever? Long Out Yin, who had just escaped wore a twisted expression. He was extremely unwilling to accept the outcome. Not only had the Kingslayer's plan failed, the people close to him were all dead too. Long Ao Ian's hatred toward Jun Xiaoyao was so strong that even the water of the four oceans could not wash it away. No, I, Long Ao Ian, am the son of destiny. How can I admit defeat like this? Long Ao Ian was unwilling to accept the outcome. His destiny was to not believe in destiny. Long Ao Ian's will was to alter his destiny. He believed that as long as he did not give up, he would eventually have a chance to turn the tables around. Meanwhile, the vibration in the sky caught Long Ao Ian's attention. That's the bronze immortal palace. Long Ao Ian was shocked. As the forbidden first talent of Zulong, he was naturally familiar with the Seven Wonders. The Seven Wonders are extremely dangerous. If one is tainted by karma, there's a high chance of dying. However, this is also a chance. Long Ao Ian's eyes were burning with flames. The bronze immortal palace was his only chance to turn the tables around. If he gave it his all, he might be able to obtain a heaven-defying opportunity. When that happened, even Jun Xiaoyao would not be his match. I'll get my all. It's just one life. If I'm suppressed by Jun Xiaoyao in this life, I'll suffer a fate worse than death. One had to admit that Long Ao Ian indeed had the demeanor of a main character. He was also very courageous. His eyes were filled with determination as he shuttled through the void and left. On the other side, Wang Teng, who had escaped, also saw the bronze immortal palace. The bronze immortal palace. There's almost no chance of survival after entering it, but I'm not afraid. Wang Teng was also a prideful person. He could not bear the humiliation of being completely suppressed by Jun Xiaoyao. Rather than being laughed at by the world, it was better to risk his life. He might even be able to fight for a future. Wang Teng also made up his mind as he left in a flash. Jun Xiaoyao and the others naturally noticed it too. The bronze immortal palace has actually appeared in the immortal ancient world. Lord Grimm and the others were also surprised. On the other hand, Jun Xiaoyao looked calm. He had already expected this. As the bronze immortal palace appeared, a terrifying aura immediately enveloped the entire ancient spiritual land. Geniuses whose cultivation was at true God realm would even have a feeling of suffocation. Even the heavenly God realm prodigies felt an extreme sense of danger and foreboding. The Seven Wonders are all dangerous and ominous. Ordinary people can't wait to avoid them. Although there are opportunities in the bronze immortal palace, it's also dangerous. Not many people would dare to enter it. Jun Lingsong shook his head slightly. It was not appropriate to enter the bronze immortal palace for some illusory legends. Jun Xiaoyao had already made up his mind. Jun Xiaoyao would enter the bronze immortal palace even if it was just for checking in. At this moment, something in the depths of the ancient spiritual mountain seemed to be attracted by the bronze immortal palace and rose into the sky. That's all the geniuses looked over. Chapter 467. It was a ball of soul light that was as vigorous as the sun, rising from the depths of the ancient spiritual mountain. The ball of soul light not only contained an unimaginable amount of soul power, but its surface was also intertwined with Tao laws. These Tao laws seemed to be exactly the same as the Tao laws of the entire immortal ancient world. That is, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were deep. He could sense that the soul energy fluctuations coming from the ball of soul light were very similar to the soul energy fluctuations coming from the immortal ancient medallion. At the same time, the ancestral lands of the various immortal ancient races were greatly shaken. Many ancient ancestors who had been sleeping for countless years were disturbed and awakened, emitting an unparalleled pressure. That is the immortal ancient spirit. It is being guided by the bronze immortal palace. Is the will of the immortal ancient world going to be suppressed by the bronze immortal palace? Then we will never be able to leave. In the ancestral land of the dragon human race, a dragon human race ancestor was roaring. In the ancient sorcerer race, there were also ancestors who had awakened from their slumber. When they saw this scene, their expressions changed greatly. Why? Why do we have to suffer after such a long time? An ancient ancestor of the three-eyed sacred race roared angrily. If the immortal ancient spirit was suppressed in the bronze immortal palace, then they would never be able to leave the immortal ancient world. The angry roars of the ancient ancestors caused the entire immortal ancient world to rumble and tremble, as if doomsday had arrived. Many geniuses were terrified and even began to retreat toward the edge of the immortal ancient world. Most people did not want to be involved with the bronze immortal palace. Could that be the immortal ancient spirit? Lord Grimm looked at the ball of soul light and said in surprise. As a slumbering ancient freak, he knew a lot more than others. I would like to hear the details, Jun Xiaoyao said. Then, Lord Grimm told Jun Xiaoyao everything he knew. The so-called immortal ancient spirit could also be seen as the will of the immortal ancient world. The rules of the entire immortal ancient world were set by it. However, in the beginning, the purpose of the immortal ancient world was not to be used for the younger generation of geniuses to gain experience. It should be called the immortal ancient prison. Indeed, it is the same as recorded in historical records, Jun Xiaoyao said. He had a little understanding of the immortal ancient world before. In fact, it was similar to a prison. The ancestors of these immortal ancient clans had all committed great crimes. In the end, their entire clans were locked up in this place. I've heard that the great crimes these immortal ancient clans committed before seemed to be related to the other side. Lord Grimm said. Jun Xiaoyao finally understood what was going on. These immortal ancient tribes were actually the sinners of the Nine Heavens immortal realm. Their ancestors must have betrayed the Nine Heavens immortal realm and sided with the foreign realm. Thus they were banished to the immortal ancient cages. Then the spirit of the immortal ancient, or the will of the immortal ancient world, is equivalent to a supervisor. Jun Xiaoyao understood. That's right. Lord Grimm nodded. Jun Xiaoyao finally understood. If the clans of immortal ancient were prisoners in a prison, in that case, the will of the immortal ancient world was the guardian. As for why the immortal ancient spirits were suppressed by the bronze immortal palace, the old ancestors of the immortal ancient clans would be furious. It was because the immortal ancient spirits were able to imprison them. Perhaps they would be set free at some point in the future. But now, if the immortal ancient spirits were sealed inside the bronze immortal palace, didn't that mean they had no chance of escaping? No wonder the old ancestors of the immortal ancient clans were enraged. Rumble. The immortal ancient spirit was like a white sun that was suppressed into the bronze immortal palace. The immortal ancient clans fell into despair. Currently, apart from the immortal ancient clans with the immortal ancient badges, the rest of the immortal ancient clans could no longer leave the immortal ancient world. The reason being that only the immortal ancient badges contained a hint of the will of the immortal ancient world. The bronze immortal palace floated in the sky above the ancient mystical land. It looked ancient and unfathomable. What should we do now? Many people were hesitating. This bronze immortal palace is too strange. I don't want to go any closer. Xiao Maxin shivered and shrunk her head. Even she, the saintess of the demonic celestial cult, kept a respectful distance from the bronze immortal palace. It is rumored that although there are opportunities in this bronze immortal palace, it is also strange. Even sacred lords would bleed if they entered, let alone us. Lord Grimm shook his head. Jun Lingsong's double pupils revolved. He wanted to investigate the bronze immortal palace, but he felt a stabbing pain in his eyes. He couldn't help but shed a tear of blood. The bronze immortal palace is too dangerous. I can't be tainted by karma. Jun Lingsong groaned, his face pale. Looking at Lord Grimm and the other sky prides were even more terrified. No one wanted to be tainted by karma with the bronze immortal palace. However, Jun Xiaoyao stepped into the bronze immortal palace. Xiaoyao, what are you doing? Big brother Xiaoyao, what are you doing? Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's actions, Jiang Shengyi, Jiang Luoli, and the others all cried out. I am somewhat interested in this bronze immortal palace. Jun Xiaoyao didn't have the slightest fear in his eyes. It was only curiosity. Moreover, Jun Xiaoyao wasn't so extravagant that he would casually give up an opportunity to sign in. Xiaoyao, this is one of the 7 wonders. If you are not careful, you will bleed. Don't go, Jiang Xingyi said nervously. Big brother Xiaoyao, don't go. That is not a place for people. Jiang Luoli also urged him to stay. Brother Xiaoyao, the Bronze Immortal Palace is not a joke. With your talent and strength, there is no need to be so rash. Lord Grimm frowned slightly. With Jun Xiaoyao's talent, it was almost certain that he would become a saint ancestor or even prove his way in the future. There was no need to take the risk. He was also the most important person to the Jun family. Naturally, Lord Grimm didn't want anything to happen to Jun Xiaoyao. Thank you for your concern, but I am indeed curious about this Bronze Immortal Palace. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was as calm as water. Curiosity killed the cat. Xiao Maxin muttered. She had just befriended Jun Xiaoyao. She didn't want him to die just like that. Xiao Maxin had wanted Jun Xiaoyao to protect her on the Emperor's Road. Am I a cat? Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. His words made everyone fall silent. Jun Xiaoyao could be said to be the #1 person among the younger generation of the Huangtian mystic realm. If there was anyone among the younger generation who was qualified to explore the Bronze Immortal Palace, it was probably only Jun Xiaoyao. Then I will go with you. Jiang Xingyi stepped forward and said. Me too. Jiang Luoli raised her small hand. No need. I alone am enough. I should be able to protect myself. But it's hard to say if I bring you guys along. Jun Xiaoyao said. He was confident in himself, but he couldn't guarantee that the others would be able to come out alive. All right, it's settled. I will go in alone. None of you. Jun Xiaoyao's tone was firm. Seeing this, Lord Grimm and the others stopped trying to persuade him. Xiaoyao, I will wait for you. Jiang Xingyi looked at Jun Xiaoyao deeply. Yeah. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and stepped into the Bronze Divine Hall as if he was taking a stroll in the park. Chapter 468. The appearance of the Bronze Immortal Palace not only stirred up waves in the immortal ancient world. In the outside world, beside the immortal ancient mirror, many big shots couldn't help but widen their eyes and exclaim. One of the 7 wonders, the Bronze Immortal Palace, has appeared. Rumor has it that the Bronze Immortal Palace is related to a taboo figure in ancient times and is tainted with inauspiciousness. The Bronze Immortal Palace was feared. Even Supremes didn't dare to enter it casually, as they might encounter a great calamity. However, the next moment, someone exclaimed, That's the son of God of the Jun family. He's approaching the Bronze Immortal Palace? No way. Is the son of God of the Jun family going to enter the Bronze Immortal Palace? Jun Xiaoyao's action was undoubtedly a huge rock thrown into the sea, stirring up shocking waves. That was a forbidden place that even top powerhouses didn't dare to enter casually, but Jun Xiaoyao was approaching it casually. Xiaoyao! Jun Zhantian and the others clenched their fists slightly. It was impossible to say that they weren't worried. Believe in Xiaoyao, an elder said. Who cares about the 7 wonders? If something happens to Xiaoyao, we will split open the immortal ancient world and destroy the Bronze Immortal Palace, even if we have to awaken the ancestors in the ancestral temple. Another elder of the Jun family said domineeringly. The 7 wonders were strange. However, the Jun family was not to be trifled with. If they forced the Jun family into a corner, they would break the so-called Immortal Palace, even if they were tainted with great karma. For the Jun family, this was not something that they couldn't do. Hearing the words of the elders, Jun Zhantian's face also calmed down a little. Don't worry. Xiaoyao has won glory for the Jun family and done so many things. The ancestors won't let anything happen to him, an elder said. Jun Xiaoyao was now a hero of the Jun family and one of the Jun family's hopes. Those great ancestors naturally paid close attention to Jun Xiaoyao as well, making sure that nothing bad would happen to him. Compared to the Jun Xiaoyao, the people from the other forces obviously didn't think that Jun Xiaoyao could survive in the Bronze Immortal Hall. Sigh, isn't it better for the son of God of the Jun family to live a peaceful life as a legend? Why must he put himself in danger? Who knows? The son of God of the Jun family is going all out. Isn't it too early to say this? When the Jun family son of God entered the eternal burial ground, didn't some people also say that he would die there? In the end, didn't they still get slapped in the face? There were also some who disagreed. That's different from this one. This is one of the 7 great, inconceivable worlds. Even supreme beings would die if they entered. Discussions were taking place in all directions. As for Zulong, Wanhuang Spirit Mountain, Qilin Ancient Cave, Fallen God Palace, and other forces, they naturally hoped that Jun Xiaoyao would perish inside. They weren't the only ones. Many geniuses in the immortal ancient world also saw Jun Xiaoyao's actions. Many people secretly hoped that Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't come out after entering the Bronze Immortal Hall. Jun Xiaoyao's existence was like a mountain that pressed down on the heads of all the geniuses. Only with his death would the other geniuses have hope in this generation's battle of heavenly fate. Jun Xiaoyao, are you being reckless? Or are you really confident? On a mountain peak, Ji Qingyi's eyes were deep. Beside her, Ji Changkong shook his head and said, I do admire Jun Xiaoyao, but it's a pity that he's being too reckless. Even an ancient freak like him kept a respectful distance from the Bronze Immortal Hall. Jun Xiaoyao was indeed a newborn calf that wasn't afraid of Tiger. Under everyone's gaze, Jun Xiaoyao's figure directly stepped into the Bronze Immortal Hall. Of course, there were also a few geniuses who wanted to enter the Bronze Immortal Hall. But before they could even get close to the Bronze Immortal Hall, their bodies were crushed by the terrifying pressure. Ordinary geniuses couldn't even get close to the Bronze Immortal Hall. At this moment, a figure suddenly appeared in the void and entered the Bronze Immortal Hall from another direction. It's Zulong's forbidden first generation, Long Out Yin. Although it was just a flash, it was still caught by others. On the other side, another figure entered the Bronze Immortal Hall without hesitation. It's the Wang family's young master, Wang Tong. Another exclamation sounded. No one expected that 3 geniuses would enter the Bronze Immortal Hall at the same time. The 2 of them actually went in. Do we have it going too? Jun Mulan asked worriedly. It's fine. With cousin Xiaoyao's strength, the 2 of them won't be a threat. I'm just worried about the Bronze Immortal Hall itself. Jun Lingsong shook his head. The likes of Long Ao and Wang Tong were nothing more than clowns to the current Jun Xiaoyao. The Bronze Immortal Hall itself was the biggest threat, just as the immortal ancient world and the outside world were discussing. Jun Xiaoyao had already entered the Bronze Immortal Hall. As soon as he entered the Immortal Hall, the surrounding environment was as cold as water. It was as silent as the deep sea. Those who weren't mentally strong might really be scared out of their wits. Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back. His expression was calm, and his body was surrounded by immortal light, illuminating the place. The empty and desolate hall was as silent as the universe, sealed in dust for eternity. There's no sign notification yet. It seems that I have to go deeper, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. As he moved forward, he sized up the surrounding environment. In front of him, a few skeletons appeared. Jun Xiaoyao stepped forward. As soon as he touched them, the skeletons turned into dust. Judging from these bones, they should be at least above the Supreme Sage level. However, the remains still can't withstand the erosion of time, Jun Xiaoyao murmured. He continued to move forward. Some more skeletons appeared in front of him. In addition, there were all kinds of relics, including many supreme artifacts. Unfortunately, those divine artifacts turned into dust upon contact like the skeletons. Even the supreme artifacts can't withstand the erosion of time, but my body can, Jun Xiaoyao said. He had the immortal body of the zenith heaven. If he cultivated the 3,000 Sumeru worlds in the future, then his body would exist with the world and be completely indestructible. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was thinking, he suddenly discovered that there were dark red mottled blood stains on the wall of the hall in front of him. Some words were written on it. May I ask if there are immortals in the heavens? Jun Xiaoyao murmured. He shook his head slightly. Becoming an immortal was the obsession in the hearts of all powerhouses. Those who died in the Bronze Immortal Hall all had the obsession of becoming an immortal. They wanted to see the secrets of the Bronze Immortal Hall. Jun Xiaoyao didn't have such an obsession because for him, becoming an immortal was an inevitable result. If Jun Xiaoyao wasn't qualified to become an immortal, then no one else in the world was qualified to become an immortal. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care about becoming an immortal. He was just curious. Who created this bronze immortal hall? How could it become one of the 7 incredible worlds? Just as Jun Xiaoyao was thinking, the entire bronze immortal hall suddenly trembled slightly. A terrifying, chaotic fog surged in front of him. Every wisp was enough to easily kill a saint. If this large amount of chaotic fog was used, even a saint lord would bleed. There was no suspense. Chapter 469. Jun Xiaoyao had guessed that the bronze immortal palace would be dangerous, but he did not expect to encounter such danger as soon as he stepped in. The chaotic mist seemed to have surged from the depths of the universe, causing the stars to fall and everything to die. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not panic, as he had a lot of defensive treasures with him. Jun Xiaoyao had already sensed it when he stepped into the bronze immortal palace. The bronze immortal palace was not bound by the rules of the immortal ancient world. In other words, Jun Xiaoyao's protective treasures could all be put to good use in the bronze immortal palace. Jun Xiaoyao took out a broken ancient sword casually. It was a treasure given to him by Jiang Daoxiu. There was also a broken ancient armor and a broken bronze bell. They were given to him by the 18th ancestor and the others. The broken ancient armor then unleashed a ball of light that shrouded Jun Xiaoyao, shielding him from the danger. There was also a broken bronze bell that floated above Jun Xiaoyao's head. It vibrated slightly, and the sound of the bell spread out, scattering the mist around. It could be said that Jun Xiaoyao was a full set of divine equipment. As the apple of the eye of the 2 clans of the ancients, it was only natural that Jun Xiaoyao had a lot of protective items on him. Each and every one of them had a great history. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The broken ancient sword vibrated, and a vast sword light slashed through the chaotic mist in front of them. Jun Xiaoyao continued to move forward with the 3 ancient weapons protecting him. On the other hand, Long Outyin and Wang Tung also started to go deeper through other passages. They also encountered all kinds of dangers, but they also had protective treasures given to them by the Zulong and the Wang family in the north. The chaotic mist that was enough to make a sacred lord bleed in despair could not cause any harm to Jun Xiaoyao. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao did not let his guard down. The bronze immortal palace was definitely not only strange. There was a Tai Chi yin-yang pattern on the door. It was half yin and half yang. Is this the gate of life and death? Jun Xiaoyao said. He had also heard rumors that within the bronze immortal palace, there was a gate of life and death. It was like the king of hell, judging life and death. On top of that, both of them were protagonists of destiny and possessed great luck. Thus, the journey was more daunting than dangerous. After walking for a quarter of an hour, Jun Xiaoyao stopped. A door appeared in front of them. If it were an ordinary person, they would not hesitate to choose the life gate. Some intelligent people would choose the death gate, because life and death coexist. Life is death, and death is life. Half of the life gate exuded a peaceful aura. The other half of the death gate exuded a cold aura of death, as if it was the entrance to the underworld. After arriving at this door, it was time to make a choice. No matter who gave him a choice, he wouldn't even spare a glance. Jun Xiaoyao activated the broken ancient sword and slashed at the gate of life and death. The broken ancient sword erupted with a shocking sword aura, as if it could slice through the stars in the sky. However, Jun Xiaoyao was different from everyone else. A multiple-choice question. Unfortunately, Jun Xiaoyao, never make a choice. I only walk the path I want to walk. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. What was beneath his feet was both a path and a path. The gate of life and death trembled violently and collapsed with a loud bang. A terrifying aura exploded forth, causing the 3 ancient artifacts to tremble violently. More cracks appeared on their surfaces. The bronze immortal palace is indeed filled with danger. It seems like these 3 ancient artifacts won't be able to hold on for too long. Jun Xiaoyao pondered. This ancient sword was bestowed to him by Jiang Daoxiu. It was the sword of one of the Jiang family's ancestors and was tainted with endless killing intent. As the sword slashed down, the gate of life and death rumbled and trembled. Then, the broken ancient armor, broken copper bell, and other ancient artifacts emitted light and suppressed. A door seemed to have appeared in front of them. It was the door to becoming an immortal. There seemed to be a voice reverberating in Jun Xiaoyao's mind. Open that door, and you can become an immortal. Clang, clang, clang. After the gate of life and death was blasted open, there was still a misty chaos ahead. Vaguely, there seemed to be a misty, immortal light and the sound of the great Tao reverberating, making one feel as if they were about to be enlightened. Jun Xiaoyao walked forward step by step as if he did not feel anything. There were many corpses around him. Some were withered corpses, while others had turned into white bones. There was a strong sense of unwillingness and resentment in the air. What appeared in front of Jun Xiaoyao was no longer the door to becoming an immortal, but a mottled wall stained with blood and covered in rust. At that moment, the broken copper bell floating above Jun Xiaoyao's head let out a hurried jingle all of a sudden. Jun Xiaoyao's mind shook as if he had woken up from a nightmare. All the immortal light in front of him disappeared instantly. The door shrouded in immortal qi also disappeared. That was close. This place is strange. Even with the uniqueness of my primordial spirit, I was almost bewitched. Jun Xiaoyao also sighed. This bronze immortal palace was truly worthy of being one of the 7 inconceivable wonders. It was indeed extremely strange. I guess most of these corpses must have been bewitched. Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. On the wall, there was the word immortal drawn with dark red blood. It was emitting a terrifying resentment and an ominous feeling. Jun Xiaoyao's hand was about to touch the character for Xian. If he touched it, it would not be a good thing. At the same time, in another area of the bronze immortal palace, Long Outyin also came to a place full of corpses. A demonic voice echoed in Long Outyin's mind. Suddenly, Jun Xiaoyao seemed to hear a little girl's laughter. The little girl's laughter was as bright as silver bells. However, it sounded strange and creepy in the bronze immortal palace. Can't you give me something from the mortal realm? Jun Xiaoyao could not help but complain. Long Outyin's face was sometimes twisted and sometimes confused. In front of him, there was a corpse covered in scales. On the corpse's finger, there was a pitch-black dragon-shaped ring. Come, aren't you unwilling to accept this? Do you have resentment in your heart? I will give you the power to destroy everything. There were many corpses in front of him. Suddenly, Wang Tung seemed to have discovered something. His eyes widened. That's... Wang Tung went forward and sensed something. Long Outyin could not help but reach out to take off the dragon-shaped ring and put on his finger. In an instant, Long Outyin's body shook. There was a hint of evil in his eyes. In another place, Wang Tung was also protected by the Wang family's ancient weapon. His expression was also solemn. If this ancient talisman was in its complete form, it would definitely be an emperor weapon. Now, even though Wang Tung had only obtained a fragment, it still had astounding uses. He could not be wrong about the aura of an emperor weapon. It was a broken ancient talisman. It looked like only half of it was left. It was filled with an ancient aura. The faint aura it emitted made Wang Tung's eyes shine. This is the aura of an emperor weapon. Wang Tung's hand trembled slightly as he picked up the broken ancient talisman. As expected, the heavens do not want me to die. Jun Xiaoyao, the one who has the last laugh, is the winner. Wang Tung held the broken ancient talisman in his hand. His eyes shone again. Chapter 470. Long Outyin and Wang Tung both had the luck of protagonists. Even in the dangerous and strange bronze immortal palace, they were able to avoid some dangers and find great opportunities. Jun Xiaoyao was still exploring in the immortal palace. From time to time, the little girl's bell-like laughter would ring in his ears. The laughter was supposed to be very sweet and pleasant, but in a place like the bronze immortal palace, it sounded like the voice of the underworld. Of course, Jun Xiaoyao was not that timid. His sacred body of the ancients had the holy attribute of the purest yang. It could also suppress many evil curses, so he did not need to be too afraid. Jun Xiaoyao followed the little girl's laughter and began to go deeper. Along the way, there were bones all over the place. Since ancient times, how many strong masters have fallen in this bronze immortal palace? Jun Xiaoyao saw the scene and could not help but sigh. At this moment, there was a sudden movement in front of him. That aura made the corner of Jun Xiaoyao's mouth curl into a faint smile. It was an old acquaintance. There was a figure in front of him who entered from another door. He also saw Jun Xiaoyao as soon as he came in. The two of them looked at each other and froze. Jun Xiaoyao. The person who came was Long Outyin. Jun Xiaoyao was not surprised that Long Outyin appeared in the Bronze Immortal Palace. In fact, it was within his expectations. What surprised him the most was that Long Outyin did not fear him as much as before when he saw him. There was only strong hatred in his eyes. Have you become confident again? Jun Xiaoyao sneered disdainfully. Long Outyin was enraged when he saw the smirk on Jun Xiaoyao's face. Jun Xiaoyao, this bronze immortal palace will be your burial place. Long Outyin's aura surged, and a wicked cold light flashed in his eyes. The rain is over, and the sky is clear. Do you think you could do it again? Jun Xiaoyao responded with a sneer. The atmosphere was thick with the smell of gunpowder. Just as Long Outyin was about to make a move, another figure appeared at another door. There were 4 spirits revolving around him, and a powerful aura surged around him. It was Wang Tung. A strange look flashed past Wang Tung's eyes when he saw Jun Xiaoyao and Long Outyin. However, when he looked at Jun Xiaoyao again, there was a deep chill in his eyes. He also wanted to kill Jun Xiaoyao. Oh, everyone's here. One of them was the Wang clan's young emperor, while the other was the Zulong Taboo first generation. It could be said that any genius from the Huangtian mystic realm would be flustered when facing these two. However, Jun Xiaoyao's expression was as calm as ever. His gaze was no different from looking at an ant beside his feet. Wang Tung's expression turned even colder. As the young emperor of the Wang family, he had never been looked down upon like this before. Let's go together. Long Outyin looked at Wang Tung. At this time, if he still cared about fighting one-on-one, it would be stupid and laughable. Yes, Jun Xiaoyao must die here. Wang Tung's eyes were also filled with determination. Next, without wasting any time, the two of them directly attacked Jun Xiaoyao. Long Outyin took out his supreme weapon, the Dragon Soul Blade, and slashed out with a mighty blade aura. Wang Tung also took out his golden sacred sword, and the blade aura swept out like a river. The blade aura and the blade aura intertwined, turning into a terrifying wave that suppressed Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was as usual. Around him, the broken ancient sword, broken ancient armor, old copper bell, and other artifacts began to tremble. Of course, with Wang Tung and Long Outyin's status, they naturally had their own protective ancient artifacts. They used their ancient artifacts to suppress Jun Xiaoyao's, and they kept each other in check, so they could not affect the situation of the battle. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm. If he still needed to use his ancient artifacts to deal with these two ants, it would be too much of a failure. Jun Xiaoyao directly used his fingers as a sword and performed the sword chant of the Immortal Slayer. With his cultivation of the Dao God realm, the blade aura seemed to have turned into endless Dao runes, intertwining in the void and colliding with the blade aura and sword aura of the two. Boom! The entire Bronze Immortal Palace seemed to tremble. Wang Tung and Long Outyin were both knocked back, spitting out small mouthfuls of blood. It was just a collision, but the two of them together could not block it and were injured. Is the gap between us already so big? Wang Tung gritted his teeth in disbelief. Previously, the cultivators of the Immortal region had compared Jun Xiaoyao to him on the same level. But now, it seemed that the two of them were not on the same level at all. It was not that Wang Tung had become weak, but that Jun Xiaoyao was too strong. I don't believe that you are invincible. Wang Tung's eyes shot out 3 feet of divine light. A mysterious pattern that looked like an eye appeared above his head, as if it could see through the world. It was the heavenly eye of Martial Path. Once the heavenly eye of Martial Path was activated, It could see through the flaws of all Abijna. At the same time, Wang Tung performed his ultimate technique, the chaotic sky saint technique. Terrifying dermic power swept out, as if it could disrupt this part of the world. Long Outyin was not idle either. He also began to activate his blood of the Emperor Dragon. His aura rose steadily. In the end, he reached the perfected stage of the Celestial God Realm, only a fine line away from the Tao God Realm. As expected of the protagonist of the world, there is no lack of tricks like a small universe erupting at the last minute. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes revealed a hint of mockery. Unfortunately, in front of Jun Xiaoyao, even a dragon would have to coil up, and a tiger would have to lie down. Jun Xiaoyao pointed with his finger. Lightning runes crisscrossed in the air, forming a terrifyingly powerful finger of lightning. The Lightning Emperor's finger broke Wang Tung's chaotic sky saint technique, causing him to spit out blood. His chest was charred black. Jun Xiaoyao's other hand gathered the power of lightning between his 5 fingers, turning into lightning stars that suppressed Long Outyin. Divine Mark of Taishu. Long Outyin saw this and roared. The power of space fluctuated, and a dragon-shaped mark slashed out like a heavenly blade. It seemed to be able to cut through the sky. Is this the opportunity inheritance you have received? Seeing Long Outyin's move, Jun Xiaoyao shook his head. If Long Outyin had reached the Tao God Realm, he might have been able to withstand a few more moves, but now, boom! Along with a loud rumble, Long Outyin spat out blood, and the divine mark of Taishu was broken. It's over. Jun Xiaoyao was too lazy to torture the weak. In a flash, he activated the Lightning Emperor's great skill to kill Long Outyin and the others. I haven't lost yet. Emperor Dragon Armor. Long Outyin activated his small universe. The Emperor Dragon's blood was fully activated. He was clad in an extremely powerful armor, which seemed to be the strongest armor he had ever seen. Long Outyin's cultivation reached the Tao God Realm for a short time. At the same time, Wang Tung also used his trump card. The power of the 4 spirits entered his body, and his cultivation broke through to the Tao God Realm temporarily. Now, 2 Tao gods were fighting against Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao, can you still laugh? Long Outyin said coldly. Ridiculous. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were filled with pity. That was a kind of pity for the ignorant ants. Then, immortal light surged all over his body. He activated the Daluo immortal body. At the same time, a golden immortal chi with blood chi wrapped around his body like a dragon. It was the immortal chi of the physical body. The moment they saw the immortal chi, Wang Tung and Long Outyin's faces froze. Their minds went blank. Chapter 471. That aura is immortal chi? Wang Tung and Long Outyin's eyes widened. Their eyeballs almost popped out. They stared at the wisp of immortal chi wrapped around Jun Xiaoyao's body. Their hearts were in turmoil. Immortal chi. It was not a description. It was a real wisp of immortal chi. How is that possible? Didn't they say that only sky prides who had great opportunities on the Emperor Road could condense immortal chi? How did you manage to do it now? Even with Wang Tung's shrewd personality, he could not help but exclaim. The power of a wisp of immortal chi was extremely terrifying. On the Emperor Road, sky prides who managed to condense a wisp of immortal chi were usually able to crush the other sky prides. They were considered a small powerhouse on the Emperor Road. However, Jun Xiaoyao had already condensed a wisp of immortal chi before the Emperor Road even opened. Didn't that mean that Jun Xiaoyao had already become a powerhouse even before he entered the Emperor Road? Wang Tung and the others could not accept this. If outsiders knew that Jun Xiaoyao had already condensed immortal chi, it would definitely cause a huge commotion. Long Outyin's eyes were also filled with shock. His expression was cold. Jun Xiaoyao's strength had exceeded his imagination time and time again. You know nothing about strength. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were filled with mockery and pity. If he was in Long Outyin's or Wang Tung's shoes, he would feel despair when he met an opponent like him. Let's attack together. Jun Xiaoyao must die. Long Outyin roared. Wearing the Emperor Dragon armor, his strength had temporarily reached the Tao God realm. He also used the ancient Void Dragon tribe's great superpower, Great Void Dragon Fist. Long Out Yin threw a punch. Tao patterns intertwined and turned into a mighty fist light. It was as if an ancient dragon was roaring, shaking the void. Wang Teng was also using his trump card. He knew that if he did not use it now, he would not have the chance to do so. Tao cleaving art. Wang Teng held the golden, sacred sword in his hand. With his heart as the sword, a mighty golden sword light swept out with a terrifying will of Tao cleaving art. The two of them had used all their trump cards and joined forces. Even the prince of the underworld deity would be severely injured if he were to face the two of them. However, Jun Xiaoyao's face was as calm as a lake. He activated the great overarching eternity immortal body and added a strand of fleshly immortal qi. The current Jun Xiaoyao didn't even need to use any great divine abilities. He simply pushed out with his palm. Wisps of Tao runes appeared in the sky. The wisp of immortal qi in his flesh shuddered too. Immediately, Jun Xiaoyao's palm wind became even fiercer, causing violent ripples to appear in the void. Bang! Jun Xiaoyao pressed down with his palm. Under the support of the immortal Duo, celestial body, and the immortal qi of his physical body, two extreme powers. This palm was simply 100 times more powerful than any great divine ability. Boom! Wang Teng and Long Out Yin flew back like a kite with a broken string. Their bones cracked, and they spat out blood mixed with their internal organs. Wang Teng and Long Out Yin were both severely injured. Thump! The two of them crashed heavily to the ground. Long Out Yin's Emperor Dragon armor was covered in cracks. Wang Teng spat out mouthfuls of blood, his face extremely pale. Despair. As proud as Long Out Yin and Wang Teng were, there was only despair in their hearts. Jun Xiaoyao was so strong that he didn't even seem human. Why? Why would a monster like Jun Xiaoyao appear in this generation? Wang Teng was perplexed. He was already a monster himself, but he was nothing in front of Jun Xiaoyao. You don't deserve the title of young emperor. A divine chain of order shot out of Jun Xiaoyao's forehead, turning into a golden dagger that slashed at Wang Teng's primordial spirit. Splat! Wang Teng's entire body fell backward. His primordial spirit had been shattered by the primitive Emperor Tao sword. Jun Xiaoyao finally retracted his gaze and looked indifferently at Long Out Yin. It's your turn. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand, the immortal qi of his physical body wrapping around his arm. With the immortal qi of his physical body, Jun Xiaoyao's physical strength had broken the limit of 10 billion caddies. Even a 10,000 zhang tall mountain would be pulverized by this punch. Ha! Jun Xiaoyao, do you really think you're the chosen one? Long Out Yin wiped away the blood at the corner of his mouth, his expression ferocious, and his eyes filled with a hint of madness. Oh! Jun Xiaoyao looked at him calmly. I, Long Out Yin, am the chosen one. As soon as Long Out Yin finished speaking, the black dragon-shaped ring on his finger suddenly emitted a ball of demonic black light. Then, a terrifying aura shot into the sky. It was as if the gates of hell had been opened, endless, chilly winds surging. The pitch-black soul power condensed in the air, finally forming a tall, demonic figure covered in black dragon scales. A terrifying aura burst out of it. Its aura was even stronger than ordinary 9 Heaven Supremes. It was even stronger than Demon Emperor Li Xian of the 8 tribes of the godly kings. This is... Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows slightly, but his expression remained calm. As long as you kill this man, I'll agree to anything you ask of me. Long Out Yin glared at Jun Xiaoyao with eyes filled with hatred. Don't worry, you're destined to meet me. Your enemy is only an ant in front of me. The demonic figure covered in black dragon scales said calmly. This aura doesn't seem to fit in with the 9 Heavens immortal realm. Could it be the lingering will of a 9 Heaven Supreme left behind by an expert from a foreign realm? Jun Xiaoyao said thoughtfully, you're quite smart. I'm the evil dragon emperor of the fallen dragon tribe from a foreign realm. The demonic figure said, I see, Jun Xiaoyao nodded. It must be the lingering will of the evil dragon emperor that was residing in the pitch-black evil dragon ring. Long Outyin must have found it. He had to admit that Long Outyin was quite lucky. Jun Xiaoyao, prepare to die. Long Outyin was overjoyed after getting his revenge. Even though the evil dragon emperor was only left with a lingering will, Jun Xiaoyao still had no chance against him. At this moment, on the other side, Wang Teng, who had been lying on the ground, suddenly struggled to get up. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flickered with astonishment. Wang Teng's face was still pale after he rose to his feet, but his gaze at Jun Xiaoyao was extremely cold too. Jun Xiaoyao, you've shown me what death is. You'll have a taste of it soon. Wang Teng's voice was filled with murderous intent. Interesting, didn't I already destroy your primordial spirit? Jun Xiaoyao asked curiously. Wang Teng chuckled. His forehead suddenly emitted a glow. Following it, a broken ancient talisman floated in the air with a monarch aura. A broken monarch weapon? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flickered. The broken ancient talisman was able to protect Wang Teng's primordial spirit. It was beyond Jun Xiaoyao's expectation. Wang Teng and Long Outyin were indeed quite lucky. They were able to find their own fortunate encounters in the Bronze Immortal Palace. However, it was fine too. Jun Xiaoyao was only interested in harvesting the fattened leeks. Chapter 472. Jun Xiaoyao prepared to die. Wang Teng activated the broken imperial weapon talisman. This ancient talisman wasn't just for protection. When activated, its power was equally shocking. Even if it was only half of its power, it was enough to pose a threat to Jun Xiaoyao. On the other side, the evil dragon emperor's remnant consciousness released by Long Outyin also charged towards Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's protective ancient artifact was entangled by Wang Teng and Long Outyin's protective ancient artifacts. He couldn't free himself. In this situation, Jun Xiaoyao seemed to be powerless. Today, I will witness your fall. Wang Teng's eyes shone brightly. You're finally going to die. Long Outyin couldn't contain the excitement in his heart. Jun Xiaoyao had almost become his inner demon. If Jun Xiaoyao didn't die, Long Outyin would definitely not be able to prove his Tao. In other words, if Jun Xiaoyao didn't die, in this world, no one will be able to prove their Tao before him. Feeling the terrifying power of the evil dragon emperor's remnant consciousness and the broken imperial weapon, Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm. Just as he was about to use his trump card to resist. In his spatial artifact, something began to tremble. Is this a protective talisman left by father? Jun Xiaoyao was surprised. Before he left the eternal burial ground, Li Xian had given him a jade protective talisman. It was left behind by Jun Wuhui. Jun Xiaoyao had kept it in his spatial artifact. Now that Jun Xiaoyao was in danger, this protective talisman actually began to tremble. With a whoosh, the protective talisman flew out of the spatial artifact and floated in the void. Then, a vast light surged out like a tide. In the light that was bright enough to blind people, one could vaguely see a figure with a terrifying aura that suppressed the sky and dominated the universe. Its father. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were deep. Although Jun Xiaoyao had never seen Jun Wuhui before, that didn't stop him from sensing that familiar bloodline aura. His father, the white-robed God King Jun Wuhui, was a legendary existence. Even the remnant consciousness of the evil dragon emperor was greatly shaken when it sensed the terrifying might that enveloped the world. Even with his grand Empyrean cultivation level, he felt like an ant before this figure. How can this be? How can Jun Xiaoyao still have tricks up his sleeve? Long Outyin was flabbergasted. Not only did Jun Xiaoyao have an ancient artifact to protect himself, but he also had such a method. On the other hand, Wang Teng's mind was in a daze. Jun Xiaoyao's tricks were endless. The blurry figure in the vast light didn't say anything. He just reached out a hand and suppressed the evil dragon emperor's remnant consciousness. The evil dragon emperor's remnant consciousness also erupted with extreme fluctuations. The void twisted, and a black, evil dragon roared at the sky. However, before that indistinct figure, the black evil dragon, was like a little chick that was suppressed by a single hand. Even the evil dragon emperor's remnant consciousness was suppressed. No, impossible. Who are you? The evil dragon emperor's remnant consciousness let out an unwilling roar before it was completely annihilated. Then, the blurry figure flicked his finger, and the damaged ancient talisman that Wang Teng was controlling was directly sent flying out of Wang Teng's control. Wang Teng also spat out a mouthful of blood. All his bones were shattered. Only then did the blurry figure stop. Then, he slowly turned around. Within the endless light, there seemed to be a loving gaze looking at Jun Xiaoyao. "Father," Jun Xiaoyao murmured. To be honest, Jun Xiaoyao didn't feel much about this father that he'd never seen before. He also didn't know where Jun Wuhui went or what he was doing. Before, the 18th ancestor and the others only said that they would tell him some of the truth when he turned 18. In the end, the blurry figure directly disappeared into the void. The amulet fell back into Jun Xiaoyao's hands. There was a line of small words carved on the amulet. A gentleman has no regrets in his life. It was still shining brightly. Jun Xiaoyao put away the amulet and turned to look at Long Outyin and Wang Teng. Long Outyin's face was pale. He clenched his fists and trembled all over. Who would have thought that Jun Xiaoyao still had an amulet? That's the white-robed divine king, Jun Wuhui? Long Outyin's expression was extremely ugly. He naturally knew who Jun Xiaoyao's father was. Jun Xiaoyao was simply a powerful second generation. What a waste. Wang Teng's eyes were bloodshot. This was the perfect opportunity to kill Jun Xiaoyao. He missed it just like that. Since you fattened up, then let me harvest you. Jun Xiaoyao was too lazy to say anything more. He threw his 6 paths of reincarnation fist at Long Outyin. Long Outyin's face was pale as he quickly retreated. The evil dragon emperor's remnant spirit was his last trump card against Jun Xiaoyao. Apart from this, nothing else could threaten Jun Xiaoyao. If I had known, I wouldn't have entered the bronze divine palace. Long Outyin finally regretted. He was obsessed with killing Jun Xiaoyao, but this obsession ended up harming him in the end. But there was no medicine for regret in this world. No matter how long Outyin struggled, he couldn't escape death. He tried his best to activate his last trump card. The power of space erupted. He quickly moved, wanting to escape. As expected, you've obtained one of the 9 great heavenly books, the Space Book. Seeing Long Outyin's state, Jun Xiaoyao was enlightened. Obviously, this was the Space Book that specialized in the path of space. Light surged behind Jun Xiaoyao, and the wings of freedom appeared. The wings of freedom flapped and caught up with Long Outyin. Then, he used his finger as a sword and pointed at Long Outyin's head. Slash! Jun Xiaoyao's finger pierced through Long Outyin's head. Even his primordial spirit was crushed into powder. Zulong's forbidden first generation, Long Outyin, who possessed the chi of heaven and earth, was completely dead. Then, Jun Xiaoyao turned around and came to Wang Teng's side. Wang Teng's bones had been shattered. His face finally lost its previous aloof indifference. Instead, it was replaced by fear, the fear of death. And this time, the broken ancient talisman could no longer protect his primordial spirit. No, Jun Xiaoyao, you can't kill me. If you kill me, the Wang family will definitely not let this matter rest in the future. The entire celestial realm will be in turmoil. Wang Teng said in a trembling voice. Why do you all have to say this nonsense before you die? Can't you just shut up and wait for death? Jun Xiaoyao shook his head slightly. He also pointed at Wang Teng's forehead. Slash! Blood and brain matter splattered. This time, Jun Xiaoyao was careful and completely crushed Wang Teng's primordial spirit. Wang Teng, the young emperor of the Wang family of the north, who had been blessed since he was a child, had died, at the same time that the two of them died. In the outside world, beside the immortal ancient mirror, the elders of Zulong and Wang Yuanba of the Wang family of the north couldn't help but feel their auras go wild. Outyin, the elders of Long Outyin's bloodline, roared to the sky. My son! Wang Yuanba's aura surged wildly. He couldn't help but shout angrily. Both Long Outyin and Wang Teng's life tablets were shattered. Everyone who saw this scene was stunned at first. Then, as if they had thought of something, their eyes were filled with shock. It can't be. Could it be that both of them are dead? The world is going to change. Chapter 473. The elders of many forces around the immortal ancient mirror were shocked. Their eyes were full of shock. Anyone with a discerning eye who saw this scene understood what had happened. Long Outyin and Wang Tung had died. One of them was the young emperor of the Wang family, and the other was the first of Zulong. Both of them were famous figures in the Huangtian mystic realm, but now both of them had died. Geniuses are dying in the battle of the world. Is the immortal ancient the starting point of the battle? Many elders of the major forces sighed. Wang Yuanba couldn't help but look at the Jun family. The first possibility that came to his mind was that Wang Tung had been killed by Jun Xiaoyao. What are you looking at? Jun Zhantian glared at him. He was not afraid at all. Although the Wang family of the Northern Land was also a family of the clan of the Ancients, the Jun family was one of the 3 imperial families of the clan of the Ancients. Master, please calm down. Wang Tung might not have been killed by Jun Xiaoyao. Some elders of the Wang family hurriedly advised. Although they were also hostile to the Jun family, it was obviously not a good time to start conflict with the Jun family. Even if there was a conflict, the Wang family would not be able to gain any advantage. On Zulong's side, the elders of Long Outyin's bloodline were all furious. Although Long Outyin might have died because of the Bronze Immortal Palace, they still felt that Jun Xiaoyao had something to do with it. All in all, the death of the 2 geniuses had caused a huge uproar. Many forces present were talking about it. Was it really the son of God of the Jun family who killed them? Not necessarily. It could also be the killing intent of the Bronze Immortal Palace. Yes, in the Bronze Immortal Palace, even the Saint Lords would die, let alone the geniuses of a younger generation. Then, do you think the son of God of the Jun family will follow in their footsteps? That is possible. Although the son of God of the Jun family is invincible, it is only limited to the younger generation. In front of the strangeness of the Bronze Immortal Palace, it is not enough. Many people were talking. After the death of Long Outyin and Wang Tung, they all thought that Jun Xiaoyao's situation was not good. At this moment, within the Bronze Immortal Palace, Jun Xiaoyao also expected that the outside world would be in an uproar because of this. But he didn't care at all. So what if they were killed? The Wang family of the northern region and the lair of Zulong did not have the guts to deal with him openly. Next, Jun Xiaoyao began to collect the spoils of war. After all, it was a fat and delicious leek. Jun Xiaoyao picked up the evil dragon ring and examined it. There seemed to be some legacy resources of the evil dragon emperor inside. The evil dragon emperor was a supreme being expert of the foreign fallen dragon race bloodline. He most likely entered because of the Bronze Immortal Palace's legends. In the end, he died and left behind a trace of his remnant while on the evil dragon ring, which was obtained by Long Outyin. Jun Xiaoyao was not interested in the evil dragon emperor's legacy at all, but he still put it away in his spatial artifact. Jun Xiaoyao was most interested in the 9 great heavenly books on Long Outyin. After searching for a while, he also obtained a dark golden scroll. As expected, it's one of the 9 great heavenly books, the Space Book. But why is there only half? Jun Xiaoyao looked for a while and shook his head slightly. He was not too disappointed. After all, half a Space Book was also a great harvest. Jun Xiaoyao was thinking that if he could gather all 9 great heavenly books, would he be able to recreate the immortal path? Since ancient times, there's been almost no one who has gathered all 9 great heavenly books. If all 9 great heavenly books are combined, what will happen? Jun Xiaoyao was curious. He was not a collector, but the more 9 great heavenly books he had, the better. Now is not the time to study in the Bronze Immortal Palace, so Jun Xiaoyao also put away half a space book. Then, Jun Xiaoyao activated the Heaven and Earth Furnace again to refine the Emperor Dragon's blood in Long Outyin's body. It was safe to say that Jun Xiaoyao had dug up every single piece of meat he could find, without wasting a single bit of it. Long Outyin's value was almost squeezed dry. As for the legacy of the ancient Void Dragon, Jun Xiaoyao was not interested in it at all. Then, Jun Xiaoyao once again plundered Wang Tung's treasures. Wang Tung had been lucky since he was young. He had obtained all kinds of treasures. But Jun Xiaoyao was not interested in anything. After all, he had been treated the best since he was young. He had used all kinds of treasures. The only thing on Wang Tung that caught Jun Xiaoyao's attention was the broken ancient imperial weapon talisman. Could this be an ancient emperor's weapon? Jun Xiaoyao picked up the broken ancient talisman and looked at it. Only half of the ancient talisman was left. It exuded an ancient aura. In the center of the ancient talisman was the word tongue. No, this should only be half of a word. Could it be chaos? Jun Xiaoyao pondered. Which ancient emperor had the word chaos in his name? Jun Xiaoyao thought for a while, but did not have much idea. He played with the broken ancient talisman for a while and understood a little of its mysteries. It was this broken ancient talisman that protected Wang Tung's shattered primordial spirit. It's a good defensive ancient emperor weapon. If I get the complete ancient talisman, I might be able to recover my shattered primordial spirit, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. A complete ancient talisman was equivalent to having an extra life. It was a priceless treasure. Jun Xiaoyao kept the ancient talisman. After tidying it up, he waved his hand. The two ancient emperor flames surged and burned Wang Tung and Long Outyan's bodies to ashes. As for the ancient weapons that they had taken out, Jun Xiaoyao could not control them since they had lost the connection with their blood. So, he gave up on them. Now that I've dealt with these two ants, I can explore in peace. Jun Xiaoyao set off again. Within the palace, everywhere they passed, there were still corpses everywhere. Jun Xiaoyao heard the little girl's laughter again, which was as crisp as silver bells. Jun Xiaoyao followed the sound of her laughter and went deeper. Finally, a bronze door appeared in the depths of the bronze immortal palace. This bronze door was tightly shut and looked extremely ancient. Even if Jun Xiaoyao activated the ancient weapon, he could not break it open. Then, Jun Xiaoyao noticed a circular groove in the middle of the bronze door. This is the bronze compass. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes lit up. He took out the bronze compass and pressed it into the groove. In an instant, the bronze door that had been sealed for eternity finally opened slowly. Smoke and dust filled the air. Jun Xiaoyao looked ahead. In front of him was a dust-filled palace. It was extremely spacious. Opposite him was a series of bronze steps. On the steps, there was a bronze platform. There was a wooden table on it. A grimace mask covered in dust was placed quietly on the wooden table. On the wall beside the wooden table, there was a yellowed picture scroll. There was a blurry figure in the picture scroll. The face of the man in the picture was handsome and as warm as the sun. He looked very much like Jun Xiaoyao. That is, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flickered. Could the bronze immortal palace be related to the grimace woman? At this moment, there was a roar from the top of the palace. There was a vast expanse of energy that was as thick as a mountain and as dense as clouds. Every strand of energy was black and yellow in color, and it could crush mountains. This is the qi of all creation? Jun Xiaoyao said in surprise. Chapter 474. The universal qi was also known as the black-yellow mother qi or the black-yellow qi. It was rumored that when the heavens and earth were first created, it was this kind of energy that created the heavens and earth, allowing all things to flourish. Therefore, this kind of energy was called the mother qi, which meant the mother of all things. The universal qi was also the rarest energy in the world, and it was an excellent material for forging emperor weapons. In the outside world, even a wisp of it was enough to make everyone fight over it. However, at this moment, the vast expanse of black-yellow qi in the bronze immortal palace was the universal qi. If outsiders saw it, they would definitely be jealous. Even with the Jun family's heritage, there were only a few clouds of universal qi. However, there was a large expanse of it here. Logically speaking, Jun Xiaoyao should have been overjoyed to see so much qi of all creation. However, he did not. Instead, his face was solemn. Jun Xiaoyao had never believed in free lunches from the heavens. As expected, in the next moment, the ground of the entire palace suddenly rumbled. Lines of formation runes emerged, locking down the surroundings. This is bad. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed. He activated the broken ancient sword and slashed at the array. However, he could not break it. Even the ancient weapons can't break it. Jun Xiaoyao frowned. Meanwhile, the thick cloud of universal origin qi above the hall began to descend. At the same time, endless murderous intent surged around the array. Its power was enough to make the galaxy tremble. This formation is definitely one of the most powerful formations in history. Jun Xiaoyao's expression turned solemn, which was a rare sight to see. Even the Jun family's great protective array was only slightly more powerful than this one. More importantly, this array seemed to be powered by the universal qi, which was a little terrifying. Its power could easily kill a supreme being. The light from the killing array swept over. Jun Xiaoyao could not dodge at all. He could only use the 3 ancient weapons to protect himself. Clang! A killing light fell on a shabby bronze bell, and a crack appeared on it. It seems that these 3 ancient weapons can't hold on for much longer. Jun Xiaoyao sighed. At that moment, even Jun Xiaoyao felt that things were getting a little tricky. No wonder the Bronze Immortal Palace is known as a forbidden place. If one is trapped inside, there is indeed no chance of survival. Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. As time passed, the myriad origin qi above his head also began to sink. Before long, they would drown Jun Xiaoyao. Every strand of myriad qi was powerful enough to crush mountains and rivers. Under the pressure of so much mother of all creation, even an autarka's body would explode. Jun Xiaoyao had the sacred body of the ancients. Coupled with the immortal celestial body of the Daoyuo and the immortal qi in his body, his physical body could be said to be invincible among his peers. Even the bodies of saints who had been baptized by the heavenly tribulation were far inferior to him. But in the end, Jun Xiaoyao was only at the Dao God stage. Although his physical body was strong, it also depended on his cultivation level. If Jun Xiaoyao were at the Holy Lord realm, then perhaps he wouldn't need to fear him too much. Right now, Jun Xiaoyao was clearly in a life-or-death situation. Rumble. The myriad qi pressed down, as if a part of the universe was smashing down. Jun Xiaoyao's physical body began to tremble under the immense pressure. Father's amulet is not moving. Jun Xiaoyao pondered. Could it be? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed as if he had thought of something. Life is death. Death is life. Putting myself in a desperate situation and fighting to live is a dead end for me. But it could also be a heaven-defying opportunity. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were very bright. He had long cultivated an invincible heart of the path and was not afraid of death. Sometimes he just had to take a gamble. Crack! As time passed, the 3 ancient artifacts protecting Jun Xiaoyao finally could not withstand the pressure and shattered with a crack. At the same time, the heavy myriad qi pressed down. Jun Xiaoyao's entire body was drowned by the myriad qi. His physical body began to collapse inch by inch. Even the sacred body of the ancients could not withstand the pressure. However, Jun Xiaoyao himself was very calm. So, this is what you call pain? Jun Xiaoyao asked, trying to understand the feeling. Ever since he had transmigrated, he had almost never been injured. This was the first time. However, Jun Xiaoyao understood that this was a life-or-death situation, but it was also a hope. Only by being reborn in death could one make rapid progress. Jun Xiaoyao's physical body collapsed, and then recovered due to the powerful qi and blood of the sacred body of the ancients. Then it was shattered again and recovered again. This cycle was repeated. Every inch of Jun Xiaoyao's muscles and bones were also being tempered by the myriad qi. Vaguely, the elemental elephant particles seemed to be trembling, as if they were about to be nurtured and transformed. In this cycle, Jun Xiaoyao gradually could not feel his physical body. His physical body seemed to exist in the void, swaying back and forth. Sometimes it existed, and sometimes it was annihilated. At the same time, Jun Xiaoyao felt that his eyelids were getting heavier and heavier, as if he was about to fall into a deep sleep. That was his primordial spirit, which was about to be annihilated under the pressure of the myriad qi. In the end, there was only a little spark left, so weak that it was almost unable to maintain its vitality. At the same time, in the outside world, where the Jun family was located in the Emperor's State, in an ancestral hall, Jun Xiaoyao's life tablet shattered with a crack. Well, this is in front of the ancestral hall. An old man who was guarding the hall sat cross-legged on a futon. When he saw this scene, his old face suddenly changed. Oh no, Son of God's life tablet shattered. Could it be? Thinking of this, the old man's eyes trembled. He took a deep breath and hurriedly sent a message. This was definitely a big deal, which would shake the entire Jun family and even the Huangtian mystic realm. In just a moment, Jun Zhantian and the other elders beside the immortal ancient mirror received the news through communication jade slips. With one look, Jun Zhantian's old face trembled. He subconsciously cried out, Xiaoyao. In the area where the Jun family was, all the elders' faces changed drastically, as if they had heard the most unbelievable news. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Could it be a mistake? Some of the elders of the Jun family could not hold it in anymore. How is this possible? The Son of God can't be in trouble. There was a commotion in the Jun family's area. This scene was naturally seen by people from other forces. From the looks of it, could it be that the Son of God of the Jun family has fallen? That's definitely the case. Didn't you see Jun Zhantian's face turn pale? Other than this, there is no other thing that could make them lose their composure. The Son of God of the Jun family has really fallen. When the news was completely spread, all forces were in an uproar. If one were to ask who had been in the limelight and was the most talked about genius in the Huangtian mystic realm in the past decade or so, without a doubt, it was the Son of God of the Jun family, Jun Xiaoyao. He was definitely a legend of the younger generation. He could be said to be an insurmountable mountain, an existence that all geniuses looked up to. But now the brightest sun in the Huangtian mystic realm had fallen. This kind of influence was extremely far-reaching. In a few days, the news would spread throughout the Huangtian mystic realm. Chapter 475. Reincarnation is part of the heavenly path. Who would the heavens spare? An elder from Zulong's side sneered, feeling extremely pleased. Jun Xiaoyao is also dead. It's a pity that my son can't be brought back to life. Wang Yuanba was still in a bad mood. Jun Xiaoyao's death was at most a prize for Wang Teng's life, but Wang Teng still couldn't be brought back to life. Other than that, although the people from the other forces didn't dare to show anything, they were still very happy deep down, especially those forces who had a grudge against the Jun family. One of them smiled and breathed a sigh of relief. As for those forces that had no enmity or grudges with the Jun family, they were actually relieved. The reason was simple. With Jun Xiaoyao around, the geniuses from the other forces could only be relegated to supporting roles. No force wanted their geniuses to be supporting roles. They all wanted them to fight for the mandate of heaven. In this era, with Jun Xiaoyao around, the other geniuses couldn't even dream of fighting for the mandate of heaven. No, that's impossible. I'm going to break this immortal ancient. Jun Zhantian's emotions were extremely unstable. As an elder of the Jun family, he was originally a calm person. However, now that the life and death of his grandson were at stake, it would be strange if Jun Zhantian could remain calm. Zhantian, calm down. Maybe there's some misunderstanding. An elder tried to persuade him. I also hope that there's a misunderstanding, but my grandson's life tablet is broken. Jun Zhantian's eyes were slightly red. Generally speaking, a broken life tablet meant that one had died. There was no way that could go wrong. The great ancestors haven't made a move yet. If Xiaoyao is really dead, there's no way they're not going to do anything. An elder tried to persuade him. Jun Zhantian finally calmed down a little. It made sense when he thought about it. The 18th ancestor and the others valued and doted on Jun Xiaoyao no less than his biological grandfather. If Jun Xiaoyao was dead, the 18th ancestor and the others would definitely do something. However, it was true that his life tablet was broken. Now, even Jun Zhantian was a little conflicted and didn't know what to do. At the same time, in the ancestral hall of the Jun family in the Emperor's State, two figures stood in the void and looked in the direction of the immortal ancient world. One of them was a gray-robed old man, while the other looked like a 10-year-old child. However, his eyes were filled with the aura of an old man who had experienced many vicissitudes of life. They were none other than the 18th and 16th ancestors of a Jun family. Xiaoyao is teetering between life and death. You can assume that he is still alive, but you can also assume that he is temporarily dead, 18th ancestor said calmly. This is Xiaoyao's tribulation, but it is also Xiaoyao's fate. Let's see if he can survive this. 16th ancestor looked like a child, but his tone was very old. Xiaoyao's life has been smooth since he was born. It's time for him to face a challenge. If he overcomes it, he will break out of his cocoon and transform into a butterfly, shocking the entire Nine Heavens immortal realm. The 18th ancestor's eyes flickered with anticipation. I'm just saying if there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that Xiaoyao won't be able to pass. 16th ancestor paused. Don't you know what's going to happen? 18th ancestor chuckled. The bronze immortal palace seems to belong to that ruthless guy. He won't be able to become an immortal after 9 reincarnations, but it doesn't matter. If worst comes to worst, we can just break into the immortal palace. 16th ancestor said casually. I didn't expect Xiaoyao to be related to that person. Fine, as long as it's beneficial to Xiaoyao. We won't interfere, 18th ancestor said after pondering. They did not interfere, but continued to observe. However, almost all the factions around the immortal ancient mirror knew that the life tablet of the son of God of the Jun family had shattered, and that he had fallen. Meanwhile, the geniuses in the immortal ancient world were unaware of the death of Jun Xiaoyao and the others. Xiaoyao, Jiang Xingyi, and the others were troubled and worried. Jun Xiaoyao had asked them not to risk their lives by entering the immortal ancient mirror, but he did not care about his own life. While the situation was changing in the outside world, in the bronze immortal palace, Jun Xiaoyao's consciousness was gradually blurring, as if he was about to sink into darkness. The last bit of primordial spirit spark also seemed to be about to be annihilated. At this moment, the broken ancient talisman suddenly released a ball of light, enveloping the last bit of Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit. Previously, even when Wang Tang's primordial spirit was shattered by Jun Xiaoyao, he relied on the broken ancient talisman to recover. Now, the broken ancient talisman reacted again, taking the initiative to protect the last bit of Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit. Jun Xiaoyao was hanging on by a thread. Although his physical body was being destroyed inch by inch, his bones were as bright as gold and jade, releasing vitality and incomparably sturdy. Jun Xiaoyao's divine immortal bones had formed a complete divine immortal body. Even under the suppression of the myriad qi, it could not be completely shattered. Jun Xiaoyao's physical body was repeatedly shattered and reassembled just like that. The myriad qi was originally the best material for forging imperial weapons. It was also a sacred object that tempered all tangible substances. Now, Jun Xiaoyao's physical body was equivalent to an imperial weapon being tempered by the myriad qi. If Jun Xiaoyao could recover in the end, the strength of his physical body would definitely be at a super abnormal level. Although Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit was protected by the broken ancient talisman, it was still about to lose consciousness, as if it was about to fall into a deep sleep. At the last moment, the system's mechanical voice suddenly sounded. Ding! You have arrived at the Bronze Immortal Palace. Do you want to sign in? Sign in. Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit emitted a weak fluctuation. Ding! Congratulations to the host for sign in successfully. You have received an 8-star rare reward, the Myriad Qi Cauldron. As the system's voice sounded, Jun Xiaoyao's consciousness finally sank completely into darkness. At the last moment before sinking into darkness, he seemed to see an extremely heavy bronze cauldron frantically absorbing the myriad qi. The entire bronze immortal palace fell into a dead silence. There was not a single sound. Time passed little by little. At a certain moment, a hoarse voice like that of a male duck suddenly sounded in the palace. That guy died in the myriad heaven transformation formation. He's still a breath away, but this old man is also very curious. A little guy in the Tao divinity realm can actually retain a wisp of vitality. How rare. An old voice replied. So what? Isn't he still trapped in the immortal palace? He might be like this for the rest of his life. Dang Mao, a cripple, an old blind man, you guys are really blind. A charming woman's voice suddenly sounded. Slut, what are you talking about? This old man is blind to begin with. You are discriminating. An old blind man, don't talk. Listen to what this slut has to say. Another old voice said. A cripple, don't you think that young man looks a little familiar? The charming woman said. Familiar? What are you talking about? This old man doesn't understand. An old blind man said. No, now that you mention it, he does look a little familiar. A cripple's voice was filled with surprise. Then, he said, I remember now. Isn't he exactly the same as the person in Master's portrait? Could this person be Master's fated person? An old blind man was shocked. Damn, could it be that we killed the fated person by mistake? The male duck voice was also stunned. Are you guys stupid? Why aren't you guys thinking of a way to save that little brother? The charming woman hurriedly shouted. Fortunately, this person's primordial spirit and physical body are both extremely monstrous. He can actually maintain a wisp of vitality in a myriad heaven transformation formation. If it was anyone else, they would probably be completely cold. An old blind man said with a sigh of relief. Right, an old blind man. Didn't you detain that immortal ancient spirit? Hurry up and give it to this little brother. The charming woman said. This old man left it for myself. An old blind man was a little unwilling. Don't talk nonsense. Hurry up and hand it over. The charming woman urged. Okay. I'll hand it over. An old blind man said helplessly. Chapter 476. A ball of white light, like the sun, suddenly rose from the void inside the palace. It was the immortal ancient spirit that was suppressed inside the bronze immortal palace. The immortal ancient spirit emitted a vast soul fluctuation. An old blind man's voice echoed in the void. If I can refine this ball of immortal ancient spirit, my primordial spirit will definitely reach a higher level. An old blind man, that's enough. Master asked us to guard the bronze immortal palace for countless years, waiting for the fated one. Now that the fated one has finally arrived, you almost killed us, the charming female voice scolded. Luckily, we're not completely dead. Otherwise, we would have made a huge mistake, a cripple said. The ball of immortal ancient spirit sank into the chi of all creation and was slowly absorbed by Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit. This guy's primordial spirit is the legendary primordial spirit of 3 lifetimes? An old blind man was extremely shocked. Interesting. Maybe this kid's Tao of Soul will be even stronger than yours in the future, the duck-like voice said with a mischievous smile. What are you talking about, you parrot? My Tao of Soul is definitely the best among the 9 heavens supreme realm. An old blind man said. This guy's flesh is the sacred body of the ancients, and he even has a bone of supremacy? A cripple was extremely shocked. K me. Did this kid save the 9 heavens immortal realm in his past life? He has such a monstrous talent. The parrot was also shocked. Even supreme existences like them were extremely shocked. One could only imagine how monstrous Jun Xiaoyao's talent was. All right, let's not talk about it anymore. It seems like this little brother is most likely the fated one. I wonder how long he will sleep for before he wakes up. He's really handsome. The charming female voice sighed and clicked her tongue. Bitch, don't mess around. This is the fated one of our master. If you dare to cross the line, the consequences, an old blind man chuckled coldly. Can I even say a few words? Being together with you 2 old men and a parrot is my bad luck of 8 lifetimes, the charming female voice complained. What are you talking about? Have you ever seen a powerful and handsome parrot like me? The parrot said arrogantly. You're just an idiot. A cripple mocked. The entire bronze immortal hall became a little more lively because of these voices. However, Jun Xiaoyao couldn't hear it. His entire body sank into the myriad chi cauldron to undergo refinement. His primordial spirit continued to absorb the immortal ancient spirits. Jun Xiaoyao began to transform and transform in all aspects of himself without being noticed. It was obvious that this period of time would not be short. After arguing for a while, the few voices in the bronze immortal hall returned to silence. Obviously, they were used to this kind of dead silence. After a long while, an old blind man's faint voice was heard. So many years have passed, and so many years have passed in the outside world. I wonder where our master is now. Don't worry, if this little brother is really the fated one of our master, he will definitely find our master. The charming female voice sighed softly. Why are you all so sad? We can finally leave this immortal hall. The parrot called out in a duck-like voice. Didn't our master say that if we find the fated one, we have to listen to him? A cripple said. A cripple? Are you saying that we, the superior supremes, should listen to the orders of a little kid in the Tao God realm? An old blind man said. This is our master's order. Do you dare to go against it? Besides, this little brother is shockingly talented. I'm afraid he has an extraordinary background. The charming female voice said. Are you obeying orders? You're just lusting after that kid's body. An old blind man shouted. I don't deny it. The charming female voice giggled. The entire bronze immortal hall fell into silence again. Time passed day by day. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. Jun Xiaoyao, Wang Teng, and Long Outyin, who had entered the bronze immortal hall, did not come out. Now, in the immortal ancient world, many geniuses believed that the three of them had died in the bronze immortal hall. No, Xiaoyao will be fine. Jiang Xingyi comforted himself. Jiang Luoli and the others were also in disbelief. In their eyes, Jun Xiaoyao could create miracles with a wave of his hand. Even the bronze immortal hall should not be able to trap Jun Xiaoyao. Let's wait patiently. Cousin Xiaoyao will always surprise us in the end. Jun Lingsong and the others were not too worried. However, in the outside world, many people saw that Jun Xiaoyao and the others did not come out for a month and knew that they were dead. As expected, it seems that the son of God of the Jun family is completely dead. His life tablet was shattered before, and now he is nowhere to be seen. There is no other way but to die. What a pity. A genius who could have shocked the world is dead. What a pity. If the son of God of the Jun family was here, the Huangtian mystic realm would be able to take the first place on the Emperor Road. Yeah, there are 9 Emperor Road in the 9 Heavens mystic realm. There are powerful geniuses from other mystic realms on each road. If the son of God of the Jun family represented the geniuses of the Huangtian mystic realm, he would be able to take the first place. What's the point of talking about this now? He is dead. Sounds of discussion could be heard from all directions. On the Jun family's side, the faces of the people were not looking good. Although the great ancestor of the Jun family did not do anything, it was an undeniable fact that his life tablet was shattered. They were all waiting for the result. The other forces were also waiting for the result. They did not dare to make a decision until the last moment. After all, Jun Xiaoyao had created many miracles. However, such a miracle did not happen. 3 months later, the entire immortal ancient place suddenly trembled. It was a sign that the immortal ancient place was about to close. The immortal ancient place is about to close. Lord Grimm, Jun Lingsong, and the others were all shocked. Jun Xiaoyao had not come out yet. At this moment, the sequences of the Jun family began to feel a little confused. Jun Xiaoyao was the backbone of the sequences. If anything happened to him, it would undoubtedly be a huge blow to the sequences of the Jun family. Jiang Xingyi's delicate body trembled slightly. She gritted her teeth and resolutely flew towards the bronze immortal palace. Don't go, Jun Lingsong shouted when he saw this. If something happened to Jun Xiaoyao, Jiang Xingyi would only be courting death if she went. However, Jiang Xingyi was not afraid at all. Brother Xiaoyao, Jiang Luoli also flashed out. Yin Qingying, Wu Mingyue, Bai Mei'er, and the other women who were dead set on Jun Xiaoyao also flashed out, wanting to enter the bronze immortal palace. Jun Xiaoyao's charm was so great that they were willing to give themselves to him. However, the bronze celestial palace in the void also let out rumbling and trembling sounds. Then, it slowly disappeared into the void. The bronze immortal palace disappeared. No! Jiang Xingyi's voice was like a cuckoo, crying blood. Jiang Luoli and the others who were related to Jun Xiaoyao were also stunned, as if they had lost their souls. Jun Xiaoyao had died?